This is...
Gus, I'm still listening to you, but I will be right back, but I have my headphones, so I'm listening.
Oh shit, it was for a gag!
The other thing too is that the goats, the little fuckers, don't stay put.
But if you do have a few spare shekels to throw our way, then we put it to good use. I promise you. I don't know about your balls, but my balls are shiny with excellent depth of color.
Jepp the far boar. I think I cut out. I must have cut out there.
Can I offer Jepp the far ball?
Oh, not bad, Nicholas.
You really are a spectacular wit.
So it's basically, I call it MacGyvering. Cuban.
You came up with that, did you?
So you guys better be on your best behavior.
Yeah, goddamn it, chat.
Dolphin pants? Maybe some cum.
No cum, dolphin pants. No cum.
No cum, dolphin
No.
pants. Yeah, fuck that billboard.
It's Fine Dolphin Pants. You can come on Thursday, the 14th of October. You're watching Back Pocket coming at you live from the Loki Studios, starring Gus Reynolds, Steph Van Dixon,
Well fucking done.
Peter Bird. It's, I believe, special guest. It's just not worth it anymore, Scotty. I'm your host, Nick. And tonight, the show, you can expect the dread to build until the mercenaries come back for blood and pacify all of the beta boys in the area until all that remains is the echoes of their eyes.
Oh my god, he went poetic after fucking it up last week.
I know, but it still had that rockin' theme tune underneath, so it was like a weird tonal dissonance.
I think that's this show in a nutshell, right? Tonal dissonances.
That's true.
I like when Nick does his turn to camera. You go slow-mo underwater. You go... Everything just turns into like...
what it is because like I'm always keeping an eye on the fact that I'm about to have to read off a weird sentence. So it's like, and I'm also I'm watching the feed to know when Pete has cut to someone else. So that, you know, like, look, this is just all
You're
how
a
the
master
sausage
illusion
craft.
ruiner.
I really am.
It's a skill.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here doing another show. It's almost like 6.5 days haven't passed. And we were on a call this morning, and so like, I don't know if the audience is the same, but every meeting we have had this week has started with, so has anyone done anything exciting with their newfound freedoms? And this morning, in the saddest turn of events this week for me, where someone was like, so, you know, whatever, since Freedom Day. And I was like, I realized I have not stepped foot outside of the house since Sunday. I've not left the house since Sunday. So
It's overrated.
No.
Thankfully for me, all of those meetings have happened on Teams, which has spent 5 minutes crashing and logging out and logging back in. So I've missed all of that small talk.
It's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit overrated at the moment. Everyone's out there kind of just like struggling to, forcing themselves to enjoy themselves a little bit more. And maybe that's just the experience I got, but maybe people are having more fun.
That's very cynical, Gus. I had a great time. I went to the hairdresser. It was very exciting. I did all of my personal maintenance things that I have not been able to do during lockdown. I felt like a Disney princess skipping through the world. The birds were singing. Colors looked a little brighter. It was just great.
Although, if you remove personal maintenance, you got nothing left.
Says,
you didn't do anything else.
Brazilian?
Like, but like for Gus, he's
That's
like,
true.
well, I'm not getting waxed and I'm not cutting anything, so like,
I was invited to the pub and I said, lol, no. So,
That's what I went to, and it was really boring.
Exactly. I'll tell you what. So my partner went and got, like a full body waxing. Like from toe to tip of the head, she's just completely.
She did the Terminator into the wax, but then came back out.
If she's watching right now, I'm definitely going to pay for that one later. No, she went out and got her nails done, and at the salon, there's a TV up in the corner. And
they were playing Back Pocket. Don't tell me.
So I was about to say,
We're
guess what they were playing? And then I said, I won't do that because A, you might guess something that's better than the answer that I give you. B, someone will say Back Pocket. So thanks, Pete. No, up on the TV. And this is like at 11:30 in the morning on Tuesday.
Scandalous.
They're playing Squid Games. Like,
oh shit!
And it's like there's just all these women sitting there, and Beck was like, sometimes kids come into this salon and like with their parents and stuff, and she was like sitting there, and the television was behind her a bit, and she was like, she could just see this other woman sitting across the room, looking at the television, going. And then she sent me a message, and the message was, you won't believe what they played, Squid Game. And then she goes, it just got to that scene where the lady is pulling a cigarette out of her puss. And I was like, yep, that seems appropriate for fucking Nelson
Spoilers.
at 11:30 in the morning.
Can I ask how you spell puss?
I actually don't.
My instinct would be P-U-S-S, but that's pus.
That's true.
Because it's a contraction
that's
of
one
pussy.
S, yeah.
So
No,
you
isn't
go one
pus,
S.
pus is one S, I thought. Isn't it?
Yeah, pus is
No,
one
no,
S.
no.
Yeah,
No, it's
pus is
Pus
one
one
S.
S.
Yeah, pus
Out
is
of your
one S.
body?
Yes, yeah.
Really?
If you've got
It's such a horrible language.
Confirmed,
if you
pus
said-
is one S.
Yeah, if you said I've got pus coming out of my puss, it
Pus
would
is
be
one S.
P-U-S-O-U-T-O-F-M-Y P-U-S-S. But
I liked
actually,
it for a second. I said to Pete, I'm
spelled
like,
one
Pete,
of those
I
words.
was like, Pete, I'm with you. I would have got it wrong too. And then I realized that's of no help. To me. If I say, I also spelled that wrong.
I'll tell you what, the thing that
Puss in
is-
Boots is two S's.
There you go.
So a pussy cat.
And Limbot says it's not
Puss
Puss in
in
Boots.
Boots.
She actually didn't say that. I said that because she said a word that I wasn't sure if everyone would track. And I was like, I want this joke to land well. Because she actually said, so funny. They have Squid Game on TV here, and she's currently taking a cigarette out of her chooch. And I was like, people might
nice
not.
sounding
I would have
word. I
known what
wish
that
you'd gone
meant,
with that.
but I
Yeah.
like it. I don't know that I've ever heard chuch.
Yeah. So that's way too much information for 7 p.m. on a Thursday.
That's the kind of weird and early talk that would make my face look like this.
Oh,
You got it.
it arrived.
Oh, that's awesome.
I went for a dark tone.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of works. I like it. I would happily wear this out and not be too concerned that it would be my face on
Dude,
my
it's
shirt.
so good. What size is that?
This is actually large, and it's a little tight around the arms.
Mhm.
My arms are just a bit too big for the shirt, but
Oh yeah.
make of that what you will.
It's your massive guns.
Baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've always said you've got
How's
really,
that? The pus.
you've got really fat arms.
How's the print? Is it good?
It's really good. It's
Yeah.
really good. Redbubble, this is one where like the outlines are not ink, so it's like it's like the outlines are really stark because they're actually the t-shirt fabric, and the print ink is
Yes,
really good. It feels like it's
I
going
know
to
what you mean.
survive through a lot of washes. So there we go. There is
That's great.
Chartreuse number 1.
I think you've made a
Love
great
it.
color choice as well. I think that color works
I
really
now
well.
want to get the bolder ones. I want to get the like baseball t-shirt little one on the corner and stuff. And it was quick. I will say Redbubble, when they do I think I mentioned it, like the cheaper tees with quick shipping, they're actually quite good. Just watch out for those socks, like we've mentioned before.
I have not ordered mine
really
yet,
expensive,
even though
Oh, right.
it was the
The
shipping
socks are
one.
expensive and the shipping's expensive and it takes months to turn
you
up.
don't
But the
want those.
t-shirts
Yeah.
can turn up, yeah.
Yeah. I obviously that shirt was my request and has been for months and months and months, and I've yet to actually buy it, which makes me seem like a hypocrite. But it was only because I want to make sure that it arrives to the correct house. So as soon as I move, it's my first purchase next week.
Otherwise, the
Gus
people
shitting
who
himself.
move into your place would be like, would you like this t-shirt of a man clearly shitting himself? And they're like,
Would you like
"That was the
feces,
previous-"
boy? All right. I think we've
Holy
talked
moly.
enough about all of the parts of the human body that are normally clothed. Welcome to Back Pocket. It's time to get into our first segment, a little something we like to call I'm just saying, what's your been playing? LokiCat, you in the chat right now? LokiCat, brought to you by Brent Jones, aka LokiCat. Give me a video game that you're playing right now. I should really, you know what? I said this last week, start getting LokiCat to just submit like a mini review for something he's been playing this week. I feel like that'd be a nice, he is in the chat, that would be a nice thing I could check his Steam again.
As
we did that last time.
As long as you're not putting like pressure on him to like deliver content.
Do your work.
All these people constantly like, oh, we want to be involved in the show. We want to make it feel like a community show, but we don't want to do anything. We want you guys to do it all. Come on, you can't have it both ways. You can either be involved in the show or we get to control everything.
LokiCat sent a message. LokiCat said, I just finished bloody Metal Gear Solid 5. It's been nagging me for years. So 100%ed it.
There you go.
100%ed
Holy
Metal Gear Solid 5.
200 hours, according to his
Wild.
his Steam. Congratulations, LokiCat. That's a great victory. And a great game as well.
Nice.
So there you go. That's what LokiCat's been playing. Can confirm.
What did I miss?
Can confirm. LokiCat's Steam profile, and he has said that he leaves it running sometimes. But this can't be good for his GPU. Time in game in Metal Gear Solid, 311 hours.
Wowzers.
You can finish that game in 20, so that's that's a lot of just days of that thing just running for no reason. Okay, good. Good. I'm glad we cleared that up. But there have been a lot of other games that have come out, this year, LokiCat. So we've decided to play some of those instead. Gus, how about you start us off with what you've been playing?
Sure thing. I have been playing Nintendo's latest big title release, which is Metroid Dread, which is on the Switch, and is the Metroid series is back. And I am a huge fan of Metroid in like nostalgia only, but not actually to do with the games. I started to play it on original NES hundreds of times, both as a kid and as a grown-up, thinking it's something I should really play and finish. Never got there. I played a lot of Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. Never finished it. Used to play other people's save files and just like mess around, like as a young gamer. Always loved everything it was doing, but never played a game in the series from start to finish. Which I'm very glad to say this will be the first I do of that, because it is amazing. This game is getting great write-ups everywhere, and deservedly so. It is a fantastic... I don't want to say return to form, because there have been a lot of Metroid games that have done the classic side-scroller, the Metroidvania, all that kind of stuff. But I never played the Metroid Prime games on GameCube, which got, again, a lot of accolades, and people said were fantastic. This was always how I thought a Metroid game should play, and I'm just so glad to be enjoying it in what feels like the peak of the series. This is, I think, a sequel to two of the games, but like not it's not the Metroid Prime series, so that's a kind of spin-off, so to speak. So this is a follow-up from, I think, the original and the Super Nintendo one, the ones I dabbled in. It's kind of like the third in the larger arc of the story. The story of which is like really minimal and wonderfully minimally told, hauntingly so. I think that's what's drawn me to the Metroid series, as like what I like about the aesthetic and everything about it is really spooky and eerie, and again, that nostalgia is all in there as well. And this game leans into all of that stuff really, really, really strongly and really well so. The gameplay is super, like story-wise, is you're going back to a planet where there's been one of the threats has been found, which is like a sort of a version of the Metroids. The Metroids were always these like bad brain bug things that would take over and be weaponized. Samus obviously would go there as a super bounty hunter and try and take it out. The sequel was all about like a gel version of something evil that was getting around a planet and turning things evil. I think it might have turned a version of her evil in a spin-off. And then this one has been spotted again on a planet that no one knows what's going on. You fly down there. In this really cryptic way at the beginning of the game, you kind of have these flash forwards and flash backs and kind of wake up on the bottom of the facility and have to work your way back to your ship and have no idea about how you got down there. But the cool thing in this game, which is obviously part to do with the title Dread, is that one of the mechanics in it is that there are these kind of like robot assassin creatures. We saw one a little bit earlier. They're called the Emmys, like an acronym EMMI, and they were sent down there to like look at, to take care of this breakout bioweapon, and they've been corrupted, and now they are hunting around the facility for you, and they are these horrifyingly threatening, really cool creatures that there are a number of them. I think there's like a total of 11 or something. And they actually guard certain areas of the map. So when you step into those areas, you know there's one in there, and it can find you by like sound and sight, and it is ruthless in hunting you down. And you basically have to navigate these areas without just getting killed. It's a one-shot kill with like a tiny window for a counter, which I've done once. So in terms of the word dread, like it is really leaning into the idea of having a fear of these things that are in the facility. And that is, I think, probably the biggest addition to what this series is. Everything else there is very Metroid in the sense that you lose all your powers at the beginning. You are constantly finding them as upgrades. You're encountering some great boss fights, some really sick boss fights that are not only great design, but they're those like multi-stage, very Nintendo boss fights where it's like just when you learn one step, it throws another one at you. You die to that, you come back and you know that step and you keep moving forward. And that's fantastic. And then you get a power at the end of that and move on from there. And yeah, I'm loving it. I'm having a fantastic time. Nick, you're playing it too. I think we're roughly around the same area. And I will say before I hand it over to you, it's like the one thing that a few people have mentioned, it just comes part and parcel with a Metroid game, is that, and like Metroidvanias that follow it, is the maps are complicated and they are labyrinthy by design, and the actual map that you use to navigate the world that you go back and look at, I find is probably not the best way of telling you where to go and how to go there. But I think that's kind of the charm, or that's the thing a lot of people like about this series. It's something I don't really like, because if I don't save the game and put it down in a sensible spot, I have come back to it twice and been really lost and had to use a bit of a game guide to go like, where am I going here? But I think, again, that's by design, and that's something that people love in this. Are you persisting with that, Nick, or has that been something that only I'm getting?
I was surprised that this game was as easy to get around as it is. I have not really found myself getting lost that much, though I have got lost a couple of times. And I've done the thing of just opening up a game guide because I was like, this is dumb. Like, what's happening? I'm actually just now wasting time running around. Every single time, it's because there's a breakable wall that I didn't shoot. And to me, that's the one flaw in the way that the map and the layout of the areas is that occasionally it's just like, no, everywhere is a dead end here, except you need to break this brick that looks exactly like a normal wall.
Yeah, even harder in a 2D game as well, where you're not looking for like large surface areas of cracked rock or something like that.
Yeah, totally. And that's been the one time Gus, you are in the majority. I've heard so many people complain about the map. I actually really like the map. I've found it pretty detailed in a good way. You can click on like when you unlock a new ability, like the triple shoot thing that opens
wide beam,
the wide beam that opens all the doors that need that to open. You could just click on that door in the map, and it highlights them all in the on the map for you. So you here's all the spots that I can now go, which I found. I was going to say,
I feel like I haven't paid attention, or I maybe missed a thing in the tutorial telling me a little bit about how the map works. I've noticed a lot of gray flashing areas that I'm like, is that telling me that's what I can do? I can go to that area and something's new, or that I haven't worked it out?
The flashing area means that there's something there that you haven't discovered. And most of the time, spoilers, it's a breakable wall that you could shoot.
Right. So I feel like it's something I should probably just look at and learn, and maybe even read or a tip online that says like, hey, here's how. They don't do a great job of teaching you how that map works. It's a lot of information at once, and maybe that's because people who played this have played a lot of Metroid games in the past. But yeah, that's something I feel like by the end of the game I'll know it perfectly, but it's just the frustration I'm facing now where it's like, I don't know where I'm meant to go.
I mean, it seems to be the majority opinion. I don't know what it is, but for me, I'm like, oh no, I'm finding the map pretty good. I love Metroidvanias. Yeah. Like I played like Hollow Knight, Axiom Verge, Bloodstained, Ori, Dead Cells, Steam World, Salt and Sanctuary. I love them all. I've never played a Metroid game, ever picked one up, done anything. This is so fucking good. It is such a good game. It is just so good. The combat is incredible. The traversal is so much fun. The exploration is fantastic. My only criticism with it is that I find like the sort of facility thing is just a bit played out for me. It's just a bit of a boring area to be in, and a lot of the enemies are just like, I mean, basically all of them are either like security in the facility or just animals that have gone there because it's been abandoned or whatever. So it's like weird bats or robots. And
is the whole game in the facility, or do you go into sort of different areas?
You play around in different areas that are maybe like caves and some natural biomes and stuff like that, which I agree with Nick entirely on that. It's cool. There's some beautiful 2.5 kind of 3D whatever, where creatures run into the background and scuttle into caves and stuff. But yeah, it is predominantly this kind of like, old facility that's been abandoned, so to speak.
But it is just so much fun. And I'm playing this on a normal Switch, like I don't have the OLED. I hear it's amazing looking on the OLED. It runs so well. It's like the best running game on the Switch in years. It has not dropped a frame for me. It is so smooth. I don't know what they've done, but they've done something to make this actually like a console that feels powerful again. And for me, I'm like, it just feels like a game that Nintendo doesn't really make anymore. Like Nintendo games at the moment there's lots of good ones, but it's a lot of the sort of like super family friendly party games, very approachable games. And this is a game that's just like, nah, fuck you. Like, this is going to be really hard. And this is going to like require a lot of attention. This is a very sort of like hardcore AAA feeling style game. I just love this game so much. I'm so happy with it.
I feel like I have to just circle around again to the kind of atmosphere that it delivers. And a big part of that for me comes in the really... I think it's a Spanish studio that's done this one, but there's something very, I just want to say non-Western about the cutscenes and the camera angles and the music choices. It's really jarring and actually affecting in the way that, like, when you encounter those Emmys and stuff, you get these really, like, quiet scenes. It feels like the audio's turned off for a second, and then the camera will like rush past her and look over her head, and something will go like clink, 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 clink down the hallway, and you're like, holy shit! And then it spins to her on a 2.5.
It's like a horror movie. It's like a horror film for sure.
Creating moments of tension and stuff. That's nice.
And what we're seeing, here is this like predominantly the gameplay, but like there are lots of little cutscenes, and they're great little things that help you that I hadn't seen in previous Metroid games. When you're going in the right direction and you go through a door that's like, okay, the story is this way. It cuts suddenly to her moving through in a cutscene, but it will go to like the visor view of the 2.5 room. Oh, sorry, of the 2D room, and you'll see her point of view, and suddenly like an action scene will swing kind of on a 45-degree angle. It just plays with that really well. That doesn't feel like there's a disconnect between the world you're playing in and the cutscenes or the story progression. It feels like it's all in the exact same space.
I think part of that is if you think about games like Hollow Knight or Dead Cells or games or Ori, like games that have been heavily inspired by this, all of their cutscenes stay in this camera angle. They stay in the 2D. And so by going into that 3D, it totally adds this like tension because the camera has now moved. So you go, there's something around me. Like it adds action and tension. It's totally like a horror film. And I think they're really effective as well. The Emmy thing, which...
What did someone see? What did this player see just there to get through the floor?
I think that they probably...
Or is this trial and error, just shoot every cube of world design is the idea?
Sometimes that's more... I would say the ones I've run into, I know that looks frustrating, are more hidden areas with a bonus. It's not like crucial level progression has happened occasionally, but it's usually you see like a hallway with a panel in front of it, and you're like, I'm just going to shoot that to see if I can keep going down that hallway. These ones that you're looking at here are more, I think, usually to do with like, hey, there's a little extra missile pickup back here if you've got some power-ups.
Yeah,
like that's
I can see
so they've probably
it's
opened
being fun in action, but it's like it's the kind of thing that like this game is obviously playing to be like a, referencing a lot of old school game design and hopefully feels modern, but still is referencing it. But it's things like that I see that I go like, well, that's just bad game design because games weren't as well designed back then.
It is the hidden block thing is the one thing that feels old about it. It's the one thing that feels like you're hunting for something that is artificially made difficult because we've just like hidden it from you. Everything else about the game feels super slick. Like it has a fantastic flow as well of obviously like of getting a newer powered ability and then knowing that you can unlock which is very Metroidvania, obviously knowing, okay, here's all the areas I can get to, but funneling you to those places quite quickly. You can move around the map much faster than you can in something I think like Ori. Like I can get around all the area faster than that game, where that does feel like, God, it's a bit of a slog
to go all
get
the way across.
That's like a 5-minute journey, whereas this is much shorter, and it does and
you get shortcuts.
You do get shortcuts.
Yeah, you start getting teleports and traversal methods, and again, there's like sometimes you go through like a train or an elevator, and all you do is your character stands in there as the light goes vroom, 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 in silence, and you're like, oh, this is Event Horizon.
What are the abilities like? Do you kind of have ability upgrades and different things that you can do, or?
Yeah, it's totally everything that Metroid's done before. So there's some classics in there, like the Morph Ball, which suddenly lets you, all those little like thin sections that you could never usually get through. Suddenly she turns into a little ball and fires through them. There's two very obvious ones at the start. It's like, it's too hot to go through here. It's too cold to go through here. And she actually rebuilds her orange Samus suit, or there's a suit as you go on, which again has been in lots of them. But here you'll see this is like the classic. And can we turn the sound up for a sec, Pete?
Wide beam.
Like that is from the original Nintendo.
Yeah, it's amazing.
There's so many beautiful, just like the instrumentation that they use is that old kind of, I want to say like 16-bit kind of crushed audio that's really haunting because you remember playing old NES games and stuff. It's great. Sorry, and so there's a few extra ones. I think the wide beam and stuff, but I haven't played enough Metroids to know which ones are new and which ones are classics.
Yeah. I've never played it. I don't think I've ever played a Metroid either. I just feel like I've said the word Metroidvania a million times without ever having experienced what it's referencing.
and it is, I think that you get, and Pete as well, to answer your question about the digging around thing, a lot of that stuff is like hidden, like Gus said, little power-ups and that sort of thing. I think in terms of design of the level layout, it does a really good job of going... You just feel like you're heading in the right direction. And I think having played a lot of Metroidvanias, you do get a sort of second sense of going, I know that this feels like nothing is here, but also I know that generally I'm supposed to be going in this direction. And the game, and at any point, it feels like if the game has shown you a new door or a new way that you can access, you should just always take it. Because there were a couple of times where I'm like, should I take this now that it's here, or I was heading over here in this other direction, but now I can access this. Should I go here? And then you go here and it opens up a massive shortcut back to like, 2 worlds back, 2 levels back. So it really organically moves you around the map. Yeah, I'm really cool. I'm just super, super impressed with this game. And if Nintendo put out more game exclusives,
I want a Castlevania.
I would so be playing my Switch more. But even that being said, like I said, I wasn't going to get an OLED Switch, and I'm now really tempted to get one because I kind of want to get one and get it here in the next 2 days, like from Amazon or something, so I can finish this game on it because it is just such a fun game. Oh God, it's so fun.
I know you love handheld stuff and you've got your light and all that stuff, Nick, but I'm playing this on TV only, on docked mode, and it looks fantastic and it's running super smoothly. There's been like 1 or 2 little frame drops, but like no, it's great. That's what I'm saying. That's the version of the OLED version I'm enjoying.
The hilarious thing is like, I want this on an OLED screen. It's like, I got a 65-inch OLED screen.
That's what upstairs. I need. This is fantastic, and I very much look forward to just finishing this show and playing more of it, and actually completing this, and just. Well,
I also, the Super Metroid is on the Nintendo Switch Online library thing. So it's kind of made me go, I wonder what it would be like going back to that, but then I'm a bit scared that is that thing of like, when you go back, going back is much harder than like picking up a series.
Totally. So and the other thing, Nick, I wanted to mention that I wanted to know your opinion on, I should say, is that, again, one of the narrative devices is like your ship is actually far up above you, and I think traditionally Metroid games, you land on the planet's surface and you have to infiltrate a facility by going down. So a lot of people are like, you go up in this one. I was like, okay. But your ship has like an AI on it, and it's this like horrifyingly like robotic and just non-emotional voice that you then start connecting to terminals as you open them, and it's this huge orb that talks to you, and every time it does, it's so clinical and cold, and it's like, I won't do the voice, but it's like, there is a 90% chance you're going to die if you
did a little bit of the voice.
I did the monotone, but I haven't done the voice. And like, then you do better and you get an upgrade. It's like, it seems you are persisting with how you were trying to survive, and that is great, as you will consider, but things will only get harder and you are going to die more. And I'm like, oh, this, again, it's a very eerie vibe to the whole thing, and that does not help. Like
everyone in the
way.
chat, Nick, is saying that Super Metroid still holds up really well.
Okay, cool. I think I will give it a shot.
Now you have to play it.
The last thing I just wanted to say with the Emmys that Gus was talking about, the thing about them is that they stalk you in the level, and you cannot kill them until you pick up a special weapon to kill them. And then when you pick up that weapon and you kill one, it like depletes the energy from that weapon. So then you need to go get it again. And the way you get that weapon is by like killing a boss. So what it means is that there's areas of the map, say if you take one level, there's probably like 30% of that level is an area where if you go in there, these things start stalking you. And if they catch you, you're basically always dead. There is a parry window that you can get, but it changes every single time with these enemies. I've gotten lucky and parried like, I'd say probably like 9 times these guys.
Oh, wow.
I know, like a surprisingly high amount of times. But you just cannot beat them in a fight. If you manage to land the parry, you just go away. So there is that real horror-y sort of tension of this thing is chasing me. It was more effective, I think, at the beginning. As I've gone on, it's just becoming a bit like, it's almost like walking into an area like that has poison or something in it, where you just go, okay, like I know I just need to like coordinate my approach through this area to get through. But I do think it's cool that there's these enemies wandering around where it's like, you can't kill us until you go kill something worse than us and then come back.
I appreciate that they seem to be adding something per Emmy every time you meet one. It's like, this one can do this. Like, one of them couldn't get through gaps, and then the next one could, and you're like, oh, that's terrifying.
And then you take the morph ball ability from it.
Totally. And then I appreciate as well that by killing them definitely and going, it's nice to know that that's how the game is progressing you forward, and it's not this question of like, do I want to try and kill it now and keep hitting my head against a wall? It's like, no, you work out very quickly that when you can kill it, you can, and the game will move you past this area. And that's for, again, not getting too lost in those levels. It's nice to know when there's some direction and some level design that says don't go any, like, you will kill this thing and move on from it, kind of thing.
And it's super satisfying to, like, in these types of games to then own part of the map as well.
Well, then you can run back around it, and
such a good feeling.
It's such a good feeling. I think you might really like this, Pete. I think that, like, it's such a solid game. And for people watching, you may have seen little blue butterflies on screen earlier. It took me ages to figure out what this was, and I didn't figure it out. I listened to a podcast, they mentioned it. Do you know what the blue butterflies are, Gus?
No.
If you run into a cloud of them, it's the game subtly telling you you're heading in the right direction. It's like a little marker going, yes, this is the way to get to like the next significant part of this game. Yeah, right. But it never tells you that. So I ran into these butterflies. I was like, is this some sort of power up that I'm getting and I don't know about? So yeah.
And I wonder if that's going to play into the whole like amnesia angle of like she wakes up and it's like you literally land there and look at a giant creature and then just wake up in this like hard jarring cut and you're like, why am I underground and why is everything fucked up? So
it's like it's same. Cool. It's like at the beginning in the first Metroid, she was wearing the suit, took off the suit. It's like, oh, it's a woman. And then at the end of this one, she takes off the suit and then she takes off her skin and underneath she's a butterfly. And so that's the real twist.
Wow.
There we go.
Yeah.
Powerful metaphor.
Bold powerful metamorphosis. This is great. I'm going to play more of it. And then I just wanted to take this moment to mention as well a game I've been playing a lot of recently. I did mention it a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, but I am still back into Rocket League in a huge way at the moment. And the reason is I play this after sort of big sessions with friends, with a particular group of friends, and we jump in and use it as like an end of the night game to finish or to round out our evenings. And I'm just here to officially announce we're going pro. But that might confuse you a little bit because we essentially have a group of us and we all bring something different to the team, be it if we play as a team of 2, 3, or 4. We've got like me, the key striker. I've got another key striker teammate and the two of us like do a lot of setups. We've got one of us who's terrible, who is probably watching tonight, who now has learned how to be the goalie and decides to hang around in the defense.
So if you are watching tonight and you're Gus's friend, you are who he is talking about.
Correct. We also have like, is it a ring? What do you call it in soccer or something when there's like a $1 million player that you just get in as like the absolute best? A ringer. We have a ringer. We have a friend of ours who played a bit of it and then went dark and we didn't hear from him. And then when he came back, his game tag had expert. So he'd just been playing by himself, learning it and getting it like crazy good. And when he plays, we always get a win. But what I want to mention is that
training montage.
we're going pro, but we actually, if you notice, our team name at the start is we're the N pros, we're the no pros, and the reason for that is that we quickly discovered that if you played Rocket League,
we can
before,
see the reason for that.
yeah, is that in the thank you, Peter. In the dialogue, well, we just got an own goal, but in the dialogue, that if you've played Rocket League, there's like a little like D-pad option to say a bunch of little things.
Yeah.
And the one is you can see we're spamming, and the top is no problem. So our team are the no problem.
No problem. Yeah,
and the
good,
reason
good,
is
good.
because no problem is the perfect thing to say. If you score a goal and you get it easily, you just go like, yeah, no problem. It was an easy goal. If you get a goal scored against you, the best thing to say is like, no problem, guys, we got this.
Yeah.
So our team is called the No Problems, which is actually the most fun thing we've worked out, because when you play against another team and you beat them, often by default, like, so you can make teams in Rocket League. This is probably a thing that's been around for a while, but we really enjoyed, like, you design it, you choose your colors, you get your little, it's a clan tag kind of thing. And what we've enjoyed is the fact that when you finish a game and you win, or lose, I should say, is that the game often says orange wins or blue wins. But if you've got a team, it says your team name wins. So what you can see here is that we constantly spam in the chat, no problem, to the point that it infuriates the other team. And then if we win, it goes, the no problems won the game. And it just, they never click want to play again. They
want to play again?
Do.
You have selected.
None of them ever do. So we've been playing this heaps and getting really good at it and having heaps of fun with it. And then the reason we're playing is not to go pro, obviously, and not to play professionally. The reason we're playing it is to win by forfeit. So it's happened a few times that if we're ever playing a team and they choose to forfeit because we're winning too much against them, that is where we drop controllers and call it for the night. It is the most gratifying thing I've ever experienced in a video game. When we do it and we beat them by enough points that we actually end up like getting a team to forfeit, we just get into like fits of hysterical laughter, and it's like,
you should play a MOBA.
You should.
They're all about toxic gaming.
But it's toxic without us giving the ability to say anything. All we say is no problem, and we just spam them with it. And so
it's funny when you're our friend telling us this story.
Sure.
It's fucking awful when you're playing against you.
Don't get me wrong, we played against people with like all sorts of accessories on their cars and like celebrations when they get a goal, and instantly we're like, we're going to get absolutely screwed here. Like, we are not good enough at this game to play those people. But this is just like, it's no secret that Rocket League is just such a delightful game and that has so much charm and is just so much fun. But we've now got this new angle on it, which is like, we are more excited to play it as a team with our team roles. I apologize before. Mike, you were an amazing goalie. You were getting better. Totally. Marky, you're my 2IC on the goal. Like, you and I go up for like the crosses and the goals. It's fantastic. Shanu, you're terribly scary, and I don't know how you got expert in that amount of time.
This is sweet.
But it's like, it's like now we have this team structure. Yeah. And the no problems is now who I care about. And as you know, I see us, getting to regionals. So
nice. It was like watching a warlord shout out his generals.
But my God, if for some reason, oh yeah, please, Pete.
Can I ask, were there any other of the like preset text commands that maybe would have got close to making the cut? For me, like when I was playing Rocket League a fair bit when it first came out, it was calculated. Everyone just go calculated. Calculated.
Oh, is that
no matter what happened, it was calculated.
Yeah.
It was like, I meant
like
to do that.
Every move is a strategic move and you're playing a long game. Yeah.
It was like, calculated would... Well, maybe you'll come up against calculated now, made up of some back pocket.
That'd be great.
So
and again,
nice.
like, the best is when you are spamming no problem, and then you just see the other team can do like, S at $, like they can do expletive or whatever and just be like that. And when they start spamming expletive, you're like, yes, this is giving us energy.
It's working.
Like, the chatter just gets like giggly as we all start just like piling on and start playing better. And so yeah, I as I said, this
you are only fueling the power of no problem.
I think there's
a shark.
Oh, like I get around as a shark. We all get around with the flag. Oh, I think this might be an attempt on goal if you watch this save. Oh no, that was a goal. Forget that one, Peter. Skip that. We're all right. we're all riding with the flag of Barbados, which is a trident, which was just like, that's a cool flag. So we all have
nice.
We're all doing this for the People's Republic of Barbados. I don't know if they're a republic, but good on them. And yeah, this is heaps of fun. And I'm just like,
The dictator thing comes back.
the dictator thing comes back. But again, it's been lovely to drag some friends.
Gus, shut up. What does that mean? We're doing this for the People's Republic of Barbados. I don't know if they're a republic, but good on them.
Good on them.
Like,
Their flag has a trident, so tops.
oh my god.
To be fair,
No problem.
no problem.
The cherry music for hire. I'm pretty sure Barbados is a commonwealth. Not when Gus gets his hands on it. The cherry on the top of this was who was it? It was Ponko Bishop said that the Mitchell and Webb Are We the Baddies sketch.
This is the save. This is the
replaying
save.
in his mind.
Hey, epic.
Hey.
Plus
The bad guys.
No problem.
Yes.
No problem.
No problem.
No problem.
Yeah, so props to the No Problem team. Thank you guys. This has been my palate cleanser at the end of every gaming session, and will continue to be until we make regionals and go pro. No pros.
Okay,
no
good.
problems.
Good. All right. It's been a fun
And that's
week
what I've
for
been
you
playing.
for video games. God damn.
Oh yeah.
Peter, have you been having fun?
I can't. You can't go on. It was too good.
But good on him. Good on him.
Good on him.
Good one, Barbados.
You're no problem. We're good on him.
It's good stuff, Peter.
Back for Blood. Back for Blood came out. And while I have been playing it, I still haven't played much more than I played in the demo so far. I've played about 5 hours during the week. And I'm really enjoying it. We're going to talk about how it's reviewing and stuff because it's on my my Pocket League fantasy draft as well.
Oh, yep.
How interesting. I do think I'm really enjoying it. I mean, a lot of people have been talking about this for a while now because of the beta that ran about a month ago. We talked about it on the show. I still think all the things that work about it work really well in this release. Mechanically, it's really fun. And campaign-wise, there's a heap of game here.
So much.
As a starting off point. So there's a lot of game for people to play through. The big thing about the game now that it's out is the two big things for me are difficulty and the progression of your character in relation to that difficulty. I think the game is not reviewing as well as it could because I think they've totally screwed up the difficulty settings. And it was a problem in the beta, and I think it's still a problem now in that it's the fun of like Left 4 Dead and well, I mean, there's plenty of ways to have fun in video games, and there should be multiple ways to have fun in video games. There should be a way to just muck around and have fun, and then the more kind of serious way to play this game, the way that it's kind of like the design intention of this game is for it to be you make it to the safe house like
By the skin of your teeth, yeah.
Skin of your teeth every time.
Yeah.
Every time. And I think that's the balance that they wanted to strike. I think at the moment the lowest difficulty is a lot of fun and just super easy. And then the middle difficulty is pretty fucking brutal. In a way that I think will turn people off the game who maybe wanted to be serious about it and feel like it's unfairly difficult.
And there's one
and I'm
above
almost
that.
at that point. And then there's one above that.
It just needs a step in between, doesn't it? Because in the beta, I played the difficulty a bit that was higher than the first one, and I really enjoyed it. But we played it we were so cautious, like we were constantly like baby steps forward, making sure we were constantly communicating and all that kind of stuff. And it was really stressful, especially if like somebody, alerted some kind of horde or whatever. And I don't know if this happens in the smaller difficulty, the lower difficulty, but we got to a point in that first chapter that was in the beta or whatever, where because you're obviously being more cautious, hordes just come every 30 seconds or something.
It's the thing it's the Left 4 Dead thing where if you dawdle too long, things will come up behind you as a way to like keep pushing you forward through the level.
But it's like an actual horde. It's like incoming horde, and it has a countdown 30 seconds. So it's like you can't just like regroup or look for help or whatever because another horde is coming soon. It keeps pushing you forward.
Yeah.
So it was really intense. But I do think that I think it just needs a step in between there because it's just too much of a jump from the first one, which was really easy, to that, which is just like you have to be so careful to make it through alive.
That's the thing. It's like there's the easy mode where you should be able to just basically God mode your way through it.
Yeah.
Eat your health kit on the way, but like always kind of just feel like you're powerful and
you're swatting them away,
enjoying
kind
the
of thing.
story and the campaign and the kind of idea, the set pieces that they throw you away. Because I think the set pieces are still cool and interesting.
Yeah.
Though I will say, easy mode is not like what you consider, like what you think of as easy mode. It's just like you can plow through it. Like it still throws. It feels. It doesn't feel necessarily like a challenge, but it feels like a fun time, not a sort of like story
it's totally
mode
fun.
version.
You're still getting like pretty overwhelmed by stuff.
It's fun, but if you're paying attention at all, then you're not gonna.
Totally.
No one's gonna die on the way through.
Yeah.
And then I think the balance is about like, I think they could tweak the current existing one and make it work, because the things that really screw you are mistakes, and you can afford to make maybe 1 or 2 mistakes in a chapter, but if you make 3, you're basically screwed. Between the hordes and the amount of special ridden that zombies that they throw your way, so it's like at that point it's so sweaty. It's like you're getting mad at your teammates for alerting the birds when you should be having a fun time working with them.
Yeah.
You should, and still feel like you can play seriously. And it's like, you shouldn't make mistakes. Like, but you do, and to be punished this hard for it, it feels really tough early on.
Yeah.
So the system that's built into the game that is designed to counter that or to balance that is the card system. You start off with a standard deck that's pretty weak, and therefore, while it is kind of useful, you're not going to be a superhero on the normal difficulty, and that's fine. You'll play through as much of the campaign as you can, use your continue, get through a bit more, fail. But you've earned the points to then start working into the card system.
Yeah.
And the card system, I think, is actually quite interesting.
Yeah.
It's got you buy into a line of gameplay that you feel might suit your gameplay, or you coordinate with the people
and
you can
create different decks as well. Like I found that when we were playing on easy, we would we would put certain cards in there that would allow us to kind of sprint more and do different kinds of things. But I found that when we were playing on the harder difficulty, we were just constantly running out of money because we were always buying health. And it was just like, and then we didn't have enough money to buy ammo, and then we were running out of ammo. And it was just like a totally different, I found myself then picking very different cards to play on the harder difficulty because there was stuff that we just needed that we couldn't get, and we could never afford to buy those big team upgrades that give you all an extra slot for med kits or something like that because we were just constantly burning through cash.
It feels like the cards on the easiest difficulty.
Again, that's saying that you can't do that yet. The way that the game is designed is like, it's like, you don't have good enough stuff yet.
Yeah, right.
Which is like, so play more. Play the same missions again, or you can start from where you progress to. Just you go in like fresh and build a new deck, or you build your new like character based on the random draws of the cards for each chapter that you've played up to. If you jump in at chapter 5, you get to pick 5 cards at the start of that session to make sure you're as powerful as you should be in that chapter. But the way that the card system works is that you go into to buy cards underneath particular brackets that they've deemed like associated ideas. So there's like a stamina mobility based play. There's like healthier play. There's like more utility play kind of thing, like has more grenades and kind of that kind of stuff. And those cards have heaps more attached to them than the base deck that everyone gets at the start. Yep. And in the beta, we had more than the base deck given to us at the start. So the base deck is really, really basic. Plus 10% stamina. Okay. Healing is plus 20% more effective, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Once you start buying into a line, say mobility, it's like you get runners that are plus 20% stamina, your movement speed is 15% faster at base level, and it's got like 4 perks on a single card.
That's pretty cool.
So you spent like your points that you've earned by playing a session, and we'll see they get like, on the normal difficulty, I think you get like 100 of those credits, supply credits. Oh, they're 47. They might be playing, I think maybe the easy difficulty is 50, then 100, then 150 or something.
Yeah.
So to play
For the
devil's
super
advocate,
harbor.
the idea that like there's grind built into this with the intention of like, it's based heavily off, the Left 4 Dead with the same devs and all that stuff. And a big part of that game was replayability. And I think by creating this, steeper difficulty curve and giving you the idea that maybe you need to run through the campaign a few times on easy and work your way there, it's frustrating because that's not how people going into the game would want to play. They're like, well, I play a lot of these games.
It's the Diablo 3 problem all over again.
Yeah,
right?
it's like, I'm ready to come in at this level, and the game's like, no, this is how you should play it. So maybe that's just not sort of like communicated to the players in a very clear manner. That's like, this is how you should progress through it.
Almost
rather
like
than...
an unlocking process of like you get to, because isn't that like in Diablo you have a few options at the beginning, but then there are multiple difficulty options that you can't unlock until you have progressed either through everything previously or like got to a certain level or something.
You need to finish
you
needed to finish the whole game in Diablo 3 before you could unlock the difficulty above it.
Yeah. And then I think there was another one after that in Diablo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now there's like 8, and they've actually rebalanced everything. But at launch, I can't remember exactly how many there were. They were probably easy and then normal.
It is such a weird way to do it. Like
insane nightmare modes.
It's tricky as well to finish that thought about the comparison to Left 4 Dead. Is that like all of us have played that, and we know that we play that game on medium because that is how similar this game is to that. And for this to make a departure for that, it's very jarring for us to go like, it's Left 4 Dead, it's the new version. Let's play it. Let's play on medium because I played on hard on Left 4 Dead. I'm good at this game. And then play it and be like, no, there's a system in place here that's actually...
But sorry, I feel like I'm misrepresenting my opinion on it because I fucking love the game. I think it's awesome.
Right, okay.
And I'm totally down for that grind. I think it's great. What I do think it's doing, and you see the review disparity as well, what I do think it's doing to people who don't necessarily dig this style of game is pushing them away at the front.
Yeah, and
it's
that's
going
exactly.
You cannot play this game unless you're willing to... Unless you already love the idea of this game, or you're willing to grind to the point where the game, the balance of the game feels right.
For grinding like you are, and that's therefore something you're drawn to,
Yeah, and it's not even being a glutton for it. It's like I've done the first part of the first act 2-3 times now, just because I played it with different people and stuff, and it's just kind of the way. Well,
look, it makes sense as well. This is the reason I fell off like Left 4 Dead. Eventually, it was like, why do I want to play this again if I just keep running through the same campaign? Whereas like there's a level of progress and sort of character building in this that makes sense to want to go. Yeah, I'll keep running that campaign I've done all that.
I just want to unlock the doctor.
Well, I like that. I like that more. You just need to finish Act 1. Then
Act 1 and unlocks the doctor.
I like this more than I like Left 4 Dead, because Left 4 Dead felt too much like a hard reset. Of just like you finish it, and then there was a bit of like, what did I just do with my time? Because now I'm just doing this again. Obviously, I had fun. The card system in this gives you a progression of going, okay, like every time you do something, you are unlocking something that will make future runs better for you.
And you can create like effectively different builds of a character too with those decks.
Totally,
because you can have some that are really armor focused, and you can have cards that are more health focused. You can have some that are like a kind of mix of things. I feel like once I was playing on the harder difficulty, I always prioritized the thing that finds the coins because we were running out of money so much that I was just like, I'm going to be coin finder. We're going to be cashed up. Let's go.
And again, it's always useful to have a balanced team as well, which is not necessarily what people are doing at the start when they're all playing with what they want to, the kind of build they want to play anyway. So it's like it is quite a messy start. Yeah. But I do think it's got, Left 4 Dead 2 has had a long like shelf life because of modding. I think this has a much, much larger shelf life than Left 4 Dead as a base game.
Yep.
And I think that, there'll be like waves of DLC and stuff if it does well enough.
And taking your character into DLC,
there's already one planned.
Yeah, we've got I should say that we all got given the ultimate version by PR, but it says that with the DLC pack with the the annual pass that came with that. There's coming new story, playable characters, special mutated, ridden, and more. So there's at least one more like storyline campaign and cleaners coming as well.
And taking your built character or like your deck into that, I feel is so much more gratifying than just, there's another level to run through with one of these stock standard characters. So there's a reason to come back to this that would feel more satisfying.
And again, it, like every run I've done so far, even though I've done the same levels, has had different kinds of challenges because of the corruption cards that roll, which are the challenges and like
negative
debuffs that
modifiers?
get applied to you randomly at the start of each chapter. And some are more difficult than others. The birds are reasonably easy to manage when you compare them to the dense fog everywhere where you literally can't see more than like 6 feet in front of your face, and it's like, shit.
I think I told you guys earlier that I picked up a card that, and being me, I didn't read it properly because I never read anything properly. That gave me like a really epic melee that I could just push things back and one hit kill things if they came close. But it also took away my ability to sprint. And once you equip a card, you can't take it off. So I was like, oh no.
And so that's also still there as well. It's like exploration of the map. It's like you might find the cards that are like out in the world that you can pick up, and again, I think like all that stuff contributes to the idea that while you're playing through the same map again, the build that you end up with is not always going to be the same, and the challenges that you face are not always going to be the same. And I think that's a really positive thing for a Left 4 Dead game.
I heard it has one of those like really kind of epic kind of tongue-in-cheek levels like in Left 4 Dead 2. Was it Left 4 Dead 2 that had the big concert where you're on the stage and you... That was always such a funny...
that feels like a DLC thing. And
dumb level, and I hope they have something like that.
Yeah, I feel like it probably won't be a base game idea. That's more of a like, hey, this is like fun party season pack.
I was going to say the other potential for this is that because I love it as well, and it could go down that siege path where there's lots of like in-game seasonal events and stuff that add like small little campaigns with like new skins for the cleaners, that sort of thing. Like if it does pick up and pop off, then there is like the potential for a lot of added content that keeps this feeling fresh for a long time is really there, as opposed to, again, like a Left 4 Dead, which felt like sort of comes out and then modding is one thing.
They're going to make it, and then it's like, now give us more. No, you liked it too much.
and like modding is one thing, and people love modded stuff, but I personally am never really like the person for modded content, because there's just so much like wading through shit to find the good stuff.
Yeah.
And
I saw like some criticism that's like, yeah, but Left 4 Dead 2 has like 4,000 campaigns, and it's like 99% of those are fucking awful. Because some kid made them.
Yeah. So, and I will say, I've seen a few people in chat going like, "Oh, I can't get my friends to buy this. It's too expensive. Whatever." It is on Game Pass, so this is like it's on Game Pass on Xbox and on PC. So if
and it's cross-play between the two, yeah?
It's cross-play and cross-platform. So you can play on Game Pass, and the other three people you're playing can be on PlayStation 4, Steam, and an Xbox X or something. And all of you will be able to play together. That's really good.
Yeah, there's definitely like, by being on Game Pass, there's a much broader audience that have access to it than would necessarily want to pay the $70 entry fee to play a game like this that they don't necessarily know they're going to love. So if you are already playing for Game Pass with a couple of mates, it's definitely a game to play with friends. And while you're learning the map and learning the systems, play on easy, because otherwise you'll be frustrated by how quickly the specials crush you and crush your will to push through.
Considering there's a bit of a UI change up in terms of like the camp and how you start the game, and there's even a few messages, it just needs that at the start to say, hey, if you're starting this, start on easy. There's a lot of game to play here. You're going to build a strong character, or like, again, something in the sort of dialogue that just needs to tell you that, because it just seems like a strange design choice to call them that and to have them open from the beginning and not have them locked out as a way to say there's longevity here. Trust us. This is how the game should be played.
Yeah.
The last thing I would just mention in this is I was playing this morning with Pete and Gus, and then we quit out, and I wanted to pick up my progress. We sort of quit out halfway through. To pick up my progress, I was playing online, not the offline solo campaign. And you can pick up from like the sort of checkpoint in the game and continue from there. And the cool thing this does, it took a while to find a party match because it needs to find a party at that area that near you that have space. So it took sort of like 4 minutes to put me into a squad. But when it did, it picked me up with the gun and the money that I had when I finished. When I logged off a couple of hours early. So when you play online, you're playing with a completely separate group of people. No matter what, you sort of come in with the loadout that you had when you quit halfway through the last time. And I haven't seen an online game do that. And I think that's pretty cool that like you can feel like, oh, I'm on a really good run with like good equipment and good money and a good loadout. But like I literally quit because it was like there's a handyman here and I need to go like help him with something and so then it was like, oh cool, I could just pick that up and continue that run with 3 other people, which was really
all plays into everything being really unclear at the start of what it was. Look at that, but really unclear. Every system in the game is like unclear what's happening. And the run system is part of that, in that like when you go to make a game, you create run, and then those runs still exist. So the run is the character that you have and all of the information that's attached to that character in that session. If you've still got can't remember what they call it, but effectively a go again kind of thing. If you die, you can reset at the last checkpoint kind of thing. So cool. It's cool. You see, you start to work that stuff out, and again, it's just so dense, all these menus and ideas, but
But you're going to see more of it because we're going to play this game later on tonight. So it's going to be very back for bloody today. Peter, what else have you played this week?
The other thing that I dabbled with was I was given access to GeForce Now.
Oh, yeah.
And GeForce Now is the NVIDIA cloud-based stream service, which is in beta testing at the moment in Australia. There's a Perth company called Pentanet that are running servers. They've got a server farm in Perth and in Sydney. And so I logged into that service. It basically is like a NVIDIA app that you load up that feels like any kind of Epic or Steam game store. And you see the suite of games that you can play. Or that are available on their servers, and then you go to launch that game, and it asks you to log into a service like Epic, Steam, Ubisoft Connect to prove that you own that game, and then you get given a stream feed of that game. And so I gave it a little whirl. I pulled out my Surface 3, which has obviously no GPU. And I streamed Cyberpunk 2077. Some of the limitations of it are that it's a 1080p stream at a bit rate that is a little muddy, but it was super fucking smooth
and looks nice on that kind of screen.
Like their service. I'm playing a ray traced version of Cyberpunk.
Wow,
on this thing. Like
that's so funny.
So they announced their pricing plans today, and I haven't had a full look through it.
$17.99 gets you their priority subscription.
Cool.
Or it's $19.99 a month after that. It's like priority is like a founder thing for an early whatever. Right. Yeah.
So yeah, and I mean here I had some choppiness, and I think I was playing.
Good hand acting.
This was on my my Wi-Fi.
Yep.
Which is obviously we have really good internet here. So it was kind of like the issues that I noticed were every now and then the audio streaming would catch up to the video streaming, and there would be like a classic digital audio glitch, like that little high pitch, you hear the realigning of the audio, and then every now and then on my good internet, I would have a bit of a like Well, it's like just a little bit of catch up, I guess.
Yep.
So like,
is it
not-
like a,
not
is it a
perfectly
hit?
seamless, but-
Is it a hitch, or is it that thing where it freezes for a second and then feels fast forwarded
off.
to catch up to where you?
It's definitely a hitch rather than a here's the information you didn't get. It's like it's like packet loss, and it's like your stream's actually up to this point and just jumps you up to it, like cuts you up to it. Then I switched across to my 5G on my phone, and my mobile internet up here in the mountains is significantly worse than my home internet. But it was pretty smooth. I do have a few freeze ups and stuff, and like I would say that if you had a pretty stable 4G 5G connection, you would be able to stream this bitrate 1080p to your device. But I do not have stable phone reception up here at all, so it's like it's always patchy. But I was impressed that it was running at all. It had a warning as well. It was like, you've got a pretty like unstable connection, and that's part of the GeForce Now app. Is like, we would recommend trying to find a better place to do this, but if you're going to do it, we can feed you something. Good luck to you. So it's nice that the service itself recognizes when your connection is strong enough to actually be like connecting into it. And like, oh, that's actually a Cyberpunk graphic there, but this is like starting to.
Oh, it's really
down.
given out there. Yeah.
The input lag is imperceptible.
Right. That's all you need for shooters.
Yeah. It's really, really impressive. I probably still would not play like competitive on it, just because
what we're watching here is you playing on your PC rig, but not playing your installed copy of Destiny.
This was now on my PC rig, and I booted up Destiny, and
in a browser window,
in the GeForce Now app,
in the app, okay,
which is in
the GeForce Now app, and I streamed this to an offline service. And this is the raw stream that I streamed while I was streaming Destiny to my computer. I was streaming out me playing Destiny. And so what my idea here was like, this is really interesting for people who maybe want to play games like Destiny, or maybe things with like a higher GPU tax, and stream them for an audience. All of the hardware taxing of playing a video game was done off-site, and I just plugged the GeForce Now app in as a window capture into the streaming software, and away you go.
It's like streaming a Netflix video.
Yeah, it's like streaming a Netflix video that you are playing.
Yeah.
And you would say that anyone with like a reasonably stable NBN connection could handle the load of both streaming the download of the game onto your browser and the upload onto a stream service.
The information that you're sending back up to the GeForce Now servers is pretty minimal in terms of it. It's really just making sure your input feed is stable and fast.
Sure.
And then as long as you've got the download to handle streaming the 1080p stream of the you're receiving from GeForce Now, then it's just your upload speed out to your Twitch.
And
so still questionable for me, but could be done.
So I was just looking, because it launches on the 19th in Australia, like out of beta.
I'm eating chips in this footage like a fucking pig.
A basic account. You queue to get access to a server, and then you get unlimited 1 hour play sessions, and then every hour it quits you out and you need to re-queue to get into a play session. But if you get the priority, which is the like $19 a month or $17.99 a month if billed annually, whatever, you could skip the queue and get like priority access to the servers, and then your game goes to unlimited 4 hour play sessions. So every 4 hours you still need to stop playing and log back in. But obviously 4 hours is a long time to be playing a video game. And you get the RTX ray tracing tech.
Yeah, the ray trace on.
But is the way that it works, is it every game that you own, or is it a limited amount of supported games?
There are supported games. Name a game.
Okay.
We're a
Can
video
I-
game
Are we
show.
watching- are we watching
Anyone
the-
name
No,
a game.
but I'm going. Could I play New World?
No.
Could I play Disco Elysium?
Oh god, this is going to go on.
Yes.
Could I play Outer Wilds?
No.
Could I play Dark Souls?
No.
Could I play Dark Souls 2?
And finally, could I play
Dark Souls 3?
could I play Crusader Kings?
Crusader Kings. Yes, you can play 2 or 3.
Okay, cool. All right.
Um,
And is this the calculators
but
we're
like-
watching
but-
right now?
The
Sorry.
calculators.
This is the calculated.
This is the
Yeah, the
calculators.
calculators. Yeah.
My rivals.
All of Ubisoft's stuff is on there.
Yep.
Most of Epic stuff's on there, like Fortnite.
Control.
No, Fortnite's not on there, but Control is, and Control ray traced and stuff. So
Yeah, right. Okay.
Interesting.
it's giving people with. What is really good about it is giving people with any piece of hardware
exactly. Yeah.
access to new ray traced games.
Yeah.
It is 1080p. It's a bit muddy in its bit rate, but and you have to own the games. There are free games listed on the service, but they're free because they're free on Epic or they're free on Steam, and you'll still have to log into your Epic account to play the free game, but it's a free game.
Do you think the bitrate thing might be something that improves over time as more people use it? Because I feel like that's the thing that's
No.
going to stop people from being able to stream it and stuff, because people expect a super awesome bitrate when you stream anything these days.
No, there's shit. All streams are shit.
Really?
Yeah, we're streaming like 6 megabits. Like, try and hand that over to Netflix.
Yeah, right.
Streams are super compressed and muddy. Like, but no, I don't think it will get more. I don't think they'll up that bandwidth because
It's a tech.
they don't have
thing,
this.
less than
It's server capacity
Yeah.
harder. Both connections, but the connections at both ends need to be much better. Sure, there are people with internet connections that could comfortably stream, like downstream higher bit rates than whatever it's putting out. I would say it's probably like a Twitch stream, probably like a 6 megabit kind of stream, maybe up to 8 or something like that. Here's Far Cry on a phone. Again, it's just the GeForce Now app is on your phone, and you just log in, and this is Far Cry 6.
I do think, to me,
Backbone?
that's what
Did you
these
get one too?
services are for, right?
It's like Backbone.
These services are for either you don't have a powerful enough PC to run these games full stop, or to run them the way that you would like them to. So this is your stopgap. Or you want to be playing these games when you're not at your computer, and that like those. It seems like I'm probably not going to sign up to this because I don't really need this as a thing. But if I didn't have a 3080 and 17 computer monitors, I would be like, yes, maybe this is something that I need. Although I might sign up for it just so I can fucking play some of these games on my phone until Valve launched the Steam Deck here in Australia.
I feel like I don't want to bring this up because I feel like we've talked about cloud-based stuff enough. But like in terms of the Xbox cloud beta stuff that launched recently, I've dabbled in that and found it pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's
and
great. So good.
Yeah,
I'm playing
the thing-
Psychonauts 2 on my phone. It's just like playing it on the
thing
computer.
that I see the advantage there is that it's tied to Game Pass and it's tied to all the games that are there. Versus, while I see this is totally like it's a great way to get that like ray tracing version of a game you own. Like being able, for me, jumping on the cloud, the Xbox version of it, was able to go like, there's a lot of games I've looked at in Game Pass and thought, do I want to try 5 minutes of that? And I don't want to install it. And that's been the boon of like why I really enjoyed that. But catering to different crowds entirely. But I've still run into pretty much the exact same things you've run into, Pete, in terms of how it plays, the catch-ups, the hiccups, the things that do work really well and things that don't. So I'm just glad to see more of these services.
Yeah, for me, it's like I also wouldn't really use it, but it's like I could travel with a MacBook Air and keep playing my Far Cry save in a hotel when I'm traveling. Because I don't need to travel with a heavier laptop that's a gaming laptop or buy a $5,000 laptop that can run a modern game. I can just I can take my Surface tablet, like you can take anything. You've got your phone with you. It's like you could just play whatever you want. So
and
it's
again, the point that it's starting, we're seeing the Xbox One, the Nvidia one, I like that this is becoming ubiquitous and this is a standard thing now that they're all going to compete over subscription models and what's better and what's worse and who can optimize it best. But that this is becoming a normal, not just a fandangle kind of look, I can do this one thing on my phone. It's this should be standard now. It's the direction where this kind of stuff should be going, in my opinion.
Pete, when you and I went to the States a couple of years ago for a PlayStation thing, I took my PlayStation 4 because I was playing something. Maybe it was Hitman. No, it's Sekiro. And you took your massive laptop, and we were both playing that because it's took it halfway across the world. And you're right, but instead I could pay $20 for 1 month of this and be able to play that sitting on my bed with a laptop. Yeah,
I took my PlayStation to Melbourne once. That was funny.
Miles used to travel with his when he was doing his early COD League stuff, he would have a monitor and a PlayStation and microphone and full stream setup in his suitcase, and then would just steal his wife's luggage to put a couple of shirts in it or something.
Totally. Yeah, he was just constantly washing the same two outfits, but had $10,000 worth of computer in his bag.
You don't need pants when you stream, so save some luggage.
It's true. Cool. So that is the GeForce Now beta and Back 4 Blood. Steph, what have you been playing?
Not much this week. I had a busy week, but of course I played one game, and it was my horror game of the week.
You got to say it, Steph.
Sorry, there's a hexes, horror, hijinks of the week.
And I played a horror game.
No, I played Pacify. So this is very similar to the game that I spoke about last week. That's the one I can't remember the name of. No, I've played Forewarned. I've played Phasmophobia.
I feel like you paused waiting for us to fill that in, and it's like
Atonement.
Steph, every time you talk about one of these horror games, it's just I'm like
Devour.
It's the same
Devour.
game.
That's it.
You're playing the same game.
The same game.
Week.
Yeah, yeah. But there are small differences in how they play, and obviously the set pieces and stuff. And it's now kind of interesting watching people. Developers employ the same kinds of mechanics but put different spins on them. So the first map we played is this one.
I have to stop. I have to start all of these with multiplayer or single player,
they're all multiplayer, Gus.
Good. Okay. Great.
Never
okay.
alone.
Yeah. You never tell when I'm watching, and I'm like, where is this?
Sometimes we got for this is a solo.
That doll on the ground. That was Reese Wild.
But this is that makes sense.
Well, funny you should say that because
the same game every week.
Well, no, what was hilarious and different about this one? Each of these games have a different way they deal with what happens when a player dies. So obviously in Phasmophobia you become a ghost and you can't really do much, but those games are relatively short, so it's kind of fine for you to have that downtime if you die. In Forewarned, you become a mummy, and you can you can go through either door to choose if you want to help or hinder your friends as a mummy. In Devour, if you die, you come back to life, but
it was a fucking doll.
In this, each level had a different thing that it does to you, but in this one, it makes you really tiny, like a doll. And so you just...
Wait, so that is Reese?
No, but it also happens to have little dolls in it. There's a strong doll theme, Nick. Cue your
I shit on little dolls. That's my
shitting doll rant. Yeah. So it was Jens. I was playing with Reese and Jens was the first to die in this playthrough. And when she died, I expected that we had to try and res her or something. Like in Devour, it was just we had to revive people with med kits and stuff. So I was like, oh, see if she gets another go in the game or if she's dead for good. and all of a sudden she just comes around a corner and she's like this big, but is given the ability to jump really, really high. So she just became this tiny person, I guess because she became a doll, but could still sort of functionally be around in the game. She just couldn't pick up items. And a big part of these games, similar to Devour, is we had to try and vanquish the creature somehow. And in this, there were quite a complex set of things we had to do. And we had to burn all those little dolls in here. But there were also different dolls that you could pick up that would pacify her.
Didn't you have to burn goats last week?
That's true. Yes, we did have to burn goats. So yeah, that was very hilarious. We played another. This is the farm, and this was a terrifying farm monster that had this insatiable appetite and wants to eat everyone, and he was very scary. And it was a similar kind of thing where the more you sort of complete the tasks, the angrier the monster gets. So you have to kind of be strategic in how quickly you do the last few, because towards the end it gets really, really tough. He's moving quickly. He's going in and out of rooms, and there's creaking doors and stuff. I would say this game has one of the better sound design systems in it, because when you're in the house, you can hear at any moment where the creature is moving rapidly through the space. If you've got surround sound headphones, you can hear the doors creaking in the floor below you to the left, and it feels constantly like you're just like it's just around the corner, and often it is. And so it was really, really scary.
Is it the doll motif continues throughout all the different maps, or do you turn into something else?
No, different for every map. So with the farm one, you kind of sort of became doubled over with like a kind of a tunnel vision. So you had to use a specific.
Right. Okay, cool.
You had to use a specific charm in a voodoo spot to kind of clear that from yourself.
Sorry, can I ask a really dumb question as well? Mm-hmm. And you're still helping when you die and turn into another creature. You don't, not like the mummy one, you don't turn, like, you don't become an
You're just
enemy.
incapacitated in some way, but you can still kind of move around. And in this one,
and your goal is to still help the players that you're playing with, not to troll them or kill them.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, right, gotcha.
Can I also ask at this point, how are these ideas connected? Like, in Phasmophobia, you are ghost hunters, there's a home base, there's a truck.
Yeah.
You are encountering different ghosts in different locations, but you, the player, are always, understand your role.
Yeah.
But like the difference between like going to Dollhouse and this very different enemy thing. Yeah. Like how does it, what are you?
It's in this game. It's the same as Phasmophobia. You are like paranormal activity experts, and you're coming in to try and vanquish the thing. And they're all creatures that have come about as the result of some kind of curse or a spell that someone's done. And you learn about all this through the notes and stuff. It gives you information about what the puzzle is that you have to solve to destroy it, and how it came to be that way. And I think in this instance, somebody dug up an old box that had some kind of Native American charm in it or something like that, and they were on cursed land or something. And it made the husband and it starts off with just like, oh, it's a tough day on the farm today. I might cook some chicken. And then you kind of skip ahead a few notes. And it's like, I ate my children. They were delicious. And you're like, okay. In this one,
pea soup, apparently.
Yeah. In this, well, no, that's poison. So in this one, the farmer, the way to destroy him, because they have this desire to eat everything, we had to kill chickens and dunk them in a bath of poison and then feed them to the guy until he eventually got so poisoned that he keeled over and died, and then we could chuck him in the truck and take him back to the lab for testing.
Obvious solution.
Yeah. In this, in the final one, we were kind of in a foresty location, and we were dealing with a witch who was in a creepy orphanage. And in this one, this was my favorite, because in this one, if you got caught by the witch, you didn't get made into a doll or kind of incapacitated. You got turned into a rat, and the rat is super fast and so fun, and it also has a really high jump. So my only wish with these games is, especially
Roald
because
Dahl's witches,
a couple of instances where they've made you really small. These games didn't have the like proximity chat thing, and I really wanted it to make your voice squeaky. Also, I thought that would be really funny.
Isn't that something? Have you not done that with a game?
That was with the mummy one. The mummy made your voice deeper.
No, ages ago. I thought there was one where it was like
forewarned. Forewarned made your voice like had a distortion on it when you
Demon
became the
voice.
mummy. Yeah, so
I remember the one
it's a
anyway.
really
Yeah, I must
it's a really missed opportunity to do that. I think to make you really squeaky voice if you got
There's
small.
definitely, you might be thinking of Phasmophobia as well, Nick, where if you're far away, you use
I
your
was-
radio and there's radio
yeah,
voice.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I was,
yeah.
So there's two modes of
No
like
one uses
proximity
proper
chat.
Raytel either. It's very
yeah.
frustrating.
But again, when you're a rat, you can't help with the items that you need to vanquish the demon. So you can jump into a cleansing pool and cleanse yourself of the curse and sort of head back and do it again. In this one, we had to collect 4 different items and sacrifice them in the sort of sacrificial witches thing before she came to get you. But she herself is very scary. But what she does is conjure a shadow beast to
We just saw it in
that
the
is actually an invisible creature, but it does have a shadow in game that you can see.
Oh,
so
that's
actually,
creepy.
all
That's
you
cool.
can see is the shadow of the creature as it
horrible.
moves when you
Nothing
shine your
to
torch
impale.
against it. Oh, it's
impale.
yeah. There it is.
That's my Tinder profile.
There it is. Oh, did you see it? Shadow monster.
Oh my god,
yeah,
it's
you
just
just
a
run around.
shadow.
It was super creepy. It's super creepy.
off your
And it-
torch as well.
cool.
So if
Yeah.
you're like flickering, yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah, each level. What I liked about this one is that each separate level was really different. It played differently. You know, the sort of it was the same sort of kinds of elements, but there was a different spin on each one, and it made each level really different. We only, I think, successfully completed one of them, or maybe we did this one as well. I can't remember. But yeah, it was really good. It was a really good time, even though these games are similar and they played similarly. I've enjoyed all of them because they kind of use those mechanics in a way that feels
It's an
original.
interesting observation that's similar to last week. It's the one where they've come up with a mechanic of how to like progress through a level. Last one, it was the burning goats, burning something, burning effigies.
Yeah.
But like then they've done basically a palette change to be like, here's a different horror setting.
Yeah.
And that in itself is now like, because it seemed like your Bigfoot game was like, it's always going to be in a forest, or it's always going to be, your mummy one is always set in this setting. Whereas here it's like, we've got
put it in
the
multiple
mechanic. Now let's do a JR, the one you mentioned last week with the spiders and the Japanese bathhouse. It's like, you could just change the skin, and like, that does a lot more than in a shooter, making it like, I'm in a factory, I'm in a warehouse. Here it's like, I'm horrified by the witch aesthetic, and now I'm horrified by this JRP, like Japanese horror.
And it's fun trying to work out what the things that you need to vanquish the demon, and reading the little notes just adds to it, because you pick up more elements of the story, or what happened here, or they used to be children but the witch destroyed them, or this person.
How much replayability is there to that then, if that story is laid out in notes on the table?
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I would say they're all quite hard. So I feel like there's replayability in just trying to successfully get through the level.
Absorb the
And I
story
think
the first time, and then just enjoy the challenge for the next ones.
And I
But
think
also
we've played a lot of time with 3 people, and I think a lot of the time I don't know that they're balanced well enough for different numbers of players. But the sort of continuing thing I seem to come up against with these is that they're really quite hard if you don't have 4 people all working at once, because the creature hunts you down whenever you get the thing that they need, the thing that you need to destroy them. And if you don't have enough people to draw its attention away, then it becomes really hard to shake it.
And also, like last week's game, this one is $7.50 on Steam, so replayability not necessarily an issue when
Not
it's
a priority.
And like last week's game, I want to ask the question of like, was this something that when you guys booted up the game, it was like, here's how to complete a level, or was this what do we do, and that discovery? Because I really appreciate that you guys like finding that as part of these games. It's like working out the mechanics and working out.
I think it's also what makes it scary, because you don't, the lack of knowledge and not knowing where you are or what's happening, you don't know what the monster is, like it all of that adds to the fear and tension, because you don't know what you're going to encounter.
Yell, I have a doll of twigs. I have a doll of twigs.
Yeah.
Does anyone know what this is for?
Yeah, exactly.
I request that, because you've played a couple of these with Jens, if you play with Jens again, you can only play horror games with Jens that involve one of your characters' bodies being transformed in a way that confuses the other person, because it happened last week, and then with this one with her turning into a doll. Like, that's the thing you have with Jens, is Jen coming around a corner and going, what the fuck is going on right now with you?
It's also funny in the sense that, like, all of these games are so terrifying, but each one of them has always had one element that is, like, really hilarious. That just, it is a kind of a nice tension breaker. And in this game, it was definitely Jen's coming around the corner being like, "Hi, guys." Is this tiny person that like jumps super high?
Good.
Yeah,
like, oh my god,
I'm back.
So that is Pacify. It's on Steam, $7.50. Get on it.
Steph, if you don't lead us into a horror game spectacular for Halloween, then you're not doing your job.
Well,
like,
I mean,
we all
I think
have
it
to
would
play
be.
one.
They're all 4 players. It's perfect. We could do it.
No, I mean,
It'll just
you've
be a
got to pick.
Steph-only list.
You've got to. This is you going through all of them to pick your favorite, and then on Halloween we'll all jump in and play the pick of the litter.
Yeah.
Cool. And then my games, I'll go quickly. So the first one, I left it for 2 weeks. That was long enough because I did want to stream it. And it's Outer Wilds Echoes of the Eye. So this is the Outer Wilds DLC that came out a couple of weeks ago. It's top line. I think I'm about halfway through, according to chat. It's just, it's phenomenal. As chat was saying, I streamed it last night before last. At some point,
it's all a blur.
It's all a blur. Whenever I streamed it, I streamed it during the day, and then I went back and played it that night. And chat was going like, to describe this DLC is basically, we took a 10 out of 10 game and we put a 10 out of 10 game inside that 10 out of 10 game. Because the DLC is really meaty. I've played about on Steam. It says I've played 6 hours, and I'm probably halfway through it at the moment. It is very Outer Wildsy, so it's like, exactly what the people who love Outer Wilds want. And if you don't love Outer Wilds, then maybe this isn't for you, except for the fact that this could actually be for you. Now, what we're showing you right now
not for us, Pete.
is no, it could be. What we're showing you now is still the like base Outer Wilds world, because the thing about Outer Wilds is like thinking how they put an expansion to the game doesn't make sense. Like it just doesn't work if you've played the game, but they come up with a very clever solution for that. And so a lot of the game is about the discovery of things. And I literally was playing played it, got to the area that was the DLC, and there's a moment where like it's quite dark and I'm trying to figure out like how to get in, and I hit a button and I enter the space. And my jaw just dropped open by itself. It was a true sort of like moment of what? And everyone in chat who had played it was like waiting for it. And I'm just sitting there like completely in awe of this new space that I'm in. And it is, and I thought at the end of this, I do want to show what that space looks like, because I think that we'll let you know that you can look away, because I'm being really vague about what it is, because the whole point of it is discovery. I don't want to spoil anything about it. All it is to say is like, if you have already played Outer Wilds, you will adore this and you should absolutely go into it. It does seem to be a bit scarier than the base game. The base game is like eerie, and I haven't gotten up to this bit yet, but like I have heard there are like scares in this, which is I haven't seen them yet, but it's a slightly you don't see many games go like, oh, we put out more content for our game that adds like an almost tonally different thing to the thing that people normally like about it. Like if you're not looking for a horror experience, I've already been to one area that was like quite horrific, and it's like, oh, that's not what I think of when I think about this game. But
my partner just got struck by lightning, by the way.
Oh, are you okay?
What?
Yeah, it hit the house over there. That was, sorry. And you're talking about scares, and that was like, I don't know if that came through. That was fucking intense. Sorry.
Was it a loud crack?
Is there fire or something?
Holy shit!
Sorry, I thought it was like your cat jumping up next to you or something. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Someone clip that.
Someone clip.
I want to see it. I didn't get to see it. I want to see it.
Put that face on a t-shirt. Put that face on.
Well, yeah, who's just pulling that?
It's the same one. Sorry, Nick. Please go ahead. I was also like getting prepped into the haunting. Like,
oh, there it is again.
I saw it.
There was a lot there.
Wow.
Power
Okay.
on. I'm just gonna go quiet here.
Don't stand underneath that plant behind you. What was I saying? Yes. But you go to like a self-contained place. The reason that I think that this could appeal to people who found the initial game difficult to get into is that it is a very standalone experience, but B, it's also a very contained experience. A lot of the thing about Outer Wilds is it takes you a couple of hours to really get your feet underneath you of like the discovery of going to these different planets and always feeling like you're going in the wrong direction for a lot of the beginning of that game. Whereas this, when you go to this area, you go to an area where you can walk around that whole space in like 5 minutes maybe, and so it's very obvious of like, these are the places that I'm supposed to go. Now there's puzzle solving and there's mysteries and there's places where you get stumped, and there was a moment where I was like, God, what is going on? But then I solved it and I felt like a genius. And in fact, chat, there are links of me singing a song about how smart I am, so that was a very enjoyable moment. But I do think that for people like Pete, who bounced off the main game because it was just like, what am I doing with my time? This gives you an in that is way more self-contained. And for people who have played the game, my God, it's still so special. It is still just like so beautiful, and the sense of mystery and discovery, and that moment when you figure out what's going on with something and you just go like, how did I not get that before? That was happening the entire time. This is so fucking cool. I just absolutely love it. So the last thing
I don't want to watch or see this thing you're talking about, because jokes aside, for someone who I do really want to play the base game of this and this DLC, so I'm just going to close the tab.
If you don't want to see anything about this, shut your eyes, and it'll only be for like 20 seconds or so, and then I'll tell you when you can stop looking. But if you're curious, we're not going to spoil anything other than just like you can see the place where it's set. But just to I think it's important to give you an idea of like, oh, this is another area here that you can sort of see. So shut your eyes, starting now.
I don't know where it is.
You did a great job. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but this area is an area that this is the sort of like, you could get through it in 10 minutes walking around, and then you go through and hunt for things. But it is such a different looking area. Wow. It is such a compared to the rest of the game in many ways. It has such a great personality. It has such a great backstory and like what is going on in this space. It is just, oh my God. I'm almost shitty that I decided to stream it, because it means I can't play it until I am on stream again, which is why I streamed until 1 o'clock in the morning and ended my stream by reading out 450 people's names who were watching me at the time at 1 o'clock in the morning to say thank you. But yeah, it's a joy, and I'm so happy. So we'll get rid of this footage, and then everyone, it is safe to look at now. Great work, Pete. You fucking nailed that. I just it's rare that your favorite game of all time gets a content drop, and you're like, holy shit, I can't.
I'm
believe
glad, because
there
was a bit of anxiety around the idea of like, this game was so encapsulated as this amazing experience that you had, that like, from everything I played for a few hours and from everything you told me, it was very self-contained as the idea of a planet or a universe, being destroyed and you saving it through a time loop. I'm like, how do you add more to that? But clearly that seems to be...
and they did such a good job. And from a story perspective, it's tying in such an interesting way. So yeah, they've just... Cool. Oh, God. I hope these developers never make another game, because God, it's going to be a letdown. So that is Outer Wilds Echoes of the Eye. And then the other thing that I've been playing, I put a couple of hours in today. I went back to Hearthstone, guys, and Hearthstone dropped a new piece of content called Hearthstone Mercenaries. This is like a new mode in the game. It's incredibly difficult to describe what it actually is, so much so that they initially put out a 45-minute presentation that confused everybody even more, and it was fucking awful. Like, the presentation they put out for this was atrocious. It assumed that you already knew how to play the game, and it shotgun blasted information at you for 45 minutes, and everyone went away going, what is your game? I don't know what the game is. Essentially, it's like they say it's like a deck builder, like a Slay the Spire sort of thing, where you pick mercenaries. It's a
Look at this fucking set. I'm sorry.
That's insane.
I know.
But I want it.
I know.
It's a studio they're in. Oh my god.
And then it was that you pick 3 mercenaries to put on the board, and then you go up against 3 enemies. A lot of it is PvE, but there's a PvP element as well. And then you get to select each mercenary has 3 abilities that you can unlock for it that are just different, like attacks or whatever. And then you select which one you want to use in this turn, which ability you want to use in this turn, and each ability has a speed cost to it. So it's like mana. You can there's no sort of like mana pool that you're drawing from. The speed cost is in what order all these abilities resolve. So it's a full resolution between you and your opponent. So if you pick a faster spell, it will resolve before the opponent, which means that if you kill them using that, they won't be able to then use their thing against you.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then your cards that you've got that are your mercenaries level up. So they start at level 1, and I think they all go to level 30. So they get more attack and more health, and that is a permanent thing. You are permanently leveling these guys up over each game. And then you're unlocking new abilities for them. You're unlocking new passive things for them. You're just unlocking a bunch of shit for them.
And this is all PvE. This is all player versus the computer, right?
I read that
there's a big player versus computer thing, and there's also PvP. But what you're watching now is PvE.
I read that there are roguelike elements to it. What?
Yes, because it's all run based. It's less roguelike and more run like. It's all runs of stuff. And you work your way through like 3 or 4 different like small enemy, bigger enemy, get to something that levels you up, bigger enemy, boss, and then get your reward, and then you go to another run. But then like all the leveling up that you've done of your character to make it more powerful sticks between runs.
And does this draw from the decks that you've built in traditional Hearthstone, or has nothing to do with it?
All new.
It's all new cards. Some of them
that's cool.
It's kind of from across all of Hearthstone, and then there's also like Diablo is a card. All of Warcraft. Diablo is a card. They've sort of pulled in other things, so it's more about like heroes from the Warcraft.
I find with these kinds of games, I always get, if I don't keep up with them, I feel like nervous to get back into them because I'm like, oh my gosh, the last 3 years of cards that people have been adding to their decks are going to be what I'm coming up against, and I just don't have anything like that.
Totally.
So I like that this gives you a sort of an even playing field. Yeah,
you can unlock mercenaries, and then you can buy mercenaries, but that's just like saving you the grind, I guess. But it's not like you said, you're 2 expansions behind or something. If you pick up, and also at the beginning you're just running PvE, so it doesn't really matter yet. The thing about this is like are
you enjoying it?
I don't know. First of all, I think it's really ugly. I think the board is horrible looking, and I think that part of this is from like I think it feels like a mod. And Hearthstone is doing this thing where they keep adding game modes to their game, but they're treating Hearthstone like the engine and then adding these game modes. But it's like everything is still limited to tokens on a board and cards in your hand. So you see all these things where it's like, oh, it's weird that the way that this is playing out. The only reason it's playing out like this is because you built this in the Hearthstone engine, and so therefore it feels like someone has modded Hearthstone to put a new game in it, as opposed to this is a game that makes sense, like in the way that it plays.
Especially considering that Hearthstone is in itself like a wonderfully more approachable version of Magic the Gathering or something. It's like it has all the Blizzard pop and design, and then to take something that is so straightforward about how Hearthstone is so wonderful and be like, I mean, they've had a long run with it, but to be like, this, I look at this and go like, none of this makes sense.
Like, look at the board. Like, look at all this blank space on the board and stuff, and the fact that like they are all these tokens that still you need to like hover over to discover information. It's just all this stuff that like, So I'm finding that a bit like I could just see through the game of like, here's the reason that all of this is like this because of the engine that you've built this in. But it's also like it's difficult to. I don't think it's fun to look at in terms of like, it's not like a streamable game because you're looking at nothing and all the decisions are things happening in your head.
Oh,
You
as
make all these
opposed to seeing
choices.
the cards on the table that people are sort of choosing and
going
stuff.
like, I know what the play here is, sort of thing. But
Yeah.
I think, but I'm thinking about it a lot, and I want to go back to play it. I think my biggest thing with it at the moment, and I'm still only like 2 hours in, is that I'm getting a lot of decision fatigue, which is basically like there are so like when you figure out what you want to do, you have to take into account like the speed cost of your cards, which of the 3 abilities you're going to use, the way that the cooldowns work, the turn order resolving. The classes all mitigate each other, so it's like the Pokemon like blue, green, red. Like red beats green, green beats blue, blue beats red, and so if you attack something that you beat, then you do double damage to them. So you need to put that in there. There's the permanent upgrades. There's passive upgrades that you get on a run. So every time you're doing something, because it's just static cards sitting on a board, it's not like you're making a bunch of active decisions like you're running around a MOBA and it's like, okay, I'm choosing to go here and do this, but all of it is active stuff. You're sort of sitting there constantly choosing between 3 options and reading all these things and doing maths in your head of like, okay, how is this going? And you need to sort of like remember how this is all going to resolve itself. You need to look at it and go, okay, I'm going to go do dun 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 dun. Now what's going to happen? And even though that's like what Hearthstone is still like you do that, but then you do your first attack, everything resolves, and then you do your next one. So it's like you kind of see what's happening there. So there is, I find I do a couple of runs of this and then I go, God, I feel fucking exhausted from all the decisions that I've had to make. It's
what's
almost
like sitting on a board.
Like,
does it have a good tutorial?
kind of listing here, right? So like, why wouldn't it play out more like a JRPG where it's just initiative?
Yes.
And you see each individual attack at a time. You know, there's plenty of room on that board to put a little initiative list.
Well, totally. Yes, exactly. Like it's stuff like that. But I think that you can do that, but maybe the engine can't do that. Like, and there are reasons as to why it is the way that it is. And so it still feels like you've just heavily modded Hearthstone. I think it's been getting pretty good buzz, and I am going to go back and check it out. It's like free at the moment. Of like, well, it's always free, but like you don't need to pay for anything. It's free. It's grindy. But I'm really curious about it, and I do feel like I wish that the Hearthstone team were given the chance to make another game. Like, I really wish they would stop making games in Hearthstone, because I think that it's also like it's still a barrier of entry. It's still like you have to download Hearthstone to play this game, as opposed to this could be its own thing with its own cool art style and really tailored for what it is, as opposed to what feels like a bolted on extra
even
thing.
like a spin on an auto chessy kind of thing. Feels like it would be better suited to what I'm looking at.
Well, but they have that. It's Battlegrounds. They have auto chess in there. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
They have base Hearthstone. They have Battlegrounds, which is their auto chess version, and it's
I totally
auto
missed.
chess.
That boat's totally gone by, and
they have Hearthstone Duels, which is a different mode, and they now have this. So there are 4 games in Hearthstone right now, and
I went to reinstall it on my phone because I was really excited by Hearthstone, and I'm like, now I don't want to install it. There's too much stuff I don't know what it is.
So
Steph, sorry, I interrupted Steph asking about tutorial, or is it just do a run and you'll learn it? And then
no,
do
the tutorial's pretty good. It's more that there are just I'm already at the point where there are so many variables that are like popping up of going with my attacks and all the enemy attacks, and even though it's just 6 tokens on a board at once, it's still just like there are so many things I need to remember about how this is all going to resolve, and I do find myself just going, fuck it, like boom boom boom, let's just see what happens. So yeah, I'm definitely going to play more because I am curious, but it's like, let these people be free and just make a new game. Like it's time to just make a new game. But yeah, that is Mercenaries. It's and it's free to access, I suppose, in Hearthstone. Cool. So that's the end of what we've been playing. We spoke about Metroid Dread, Rocket League, Back for Blood, the GeForce Now beta, Pacify, Outer Wilds, Echoes of the Eye DLC, and Hearthstone Mercenaries. Let us know what you've been playing over on the Discord. Head to patreon.com/backpocket or backpocket.gg to join to that Discord. And people who have joined up to that Discord, people you're about to see in this word from our sponsors.
It's all right. Daddy's here.
Hello there, I'm Gus,
And I'm Steph.
and today we're playing a very special game from MaxJazzGames.
There's a sort of cat thing.
He's holding a donut, I think.
Do you know what it is?
That's right, it's Kung Pooby.
Do you play Kung Pooby?
Maybe you play Kung Pooby with your parents.
And if you do you sing the Kung Pooby song?
Would you like to sing the Kung Pooby song with us? Come on.
Kung 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 Pooby.
Kung 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 Pooby.
Pooby here, Pooby there, Pooby everywhere. Do you know who else plays Kung Pooby? That's right, it's Pockety. I wonder which window the Pockety is in today.
Let's have a look.
Is it in the round window?
Or the foot window?
Or is it in the Angus shitting himself window?
That's right, it's in the severed foot window.
We've had a lot of fun today playing MaxJazzGames, haven't we, Gus?
We sure have, Steph. Well, it's time to go now.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Welcome back, and a big thank you to McSquirty and McSquirty's kid, Lil Miss Starlet. Lil Miss Starlet is not McSquirty's kid. Lil Miss Starlet is a separate person. And to MaxJazzGames for your support on the Patreon there. Very
to assume that
confronting to watch you two as play school.
Also, as
hosts.
yeah, but I was gonna say McSquirty, his kid has a 5 years jersey.
Yeah, that's commitment. That's commitment. Well, you can't talk. You're wearing a t-shirt of you shitting yourself. Who are you to judge other people?
Which is
weird
it through the Gus shat himself t-shirt?
That's
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Good. Well, thank you very much for sending those in. Remember, you can send in a word from our sponsor if you are a member of our Patreon. So you should. All right, let's move on very quickly. Keep the Back for Blood theme running with it's not gameplay of it, it's Pocket League.
The Denver's Dallas Cowboys are down by 9. It's the 4th of the 9th. It's American sports.
That was a good impression, Gus.
Sorry, did you say the Denver Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, and then he said, it's
Down
America
by 9.
sports.
It's the bottom of the 5th. Here comes the shot. It's nothing but net. It's a home goal.
Third and bogey.
No problem.
Wrong sport.
No
It's like,
problem.
No problem.
no problem. No problem.
Oh, I'm gonna get jerseys made for the team.
I'll tell you what. One day when the international travel's back, I can't wait to go to Denver, Texas.
Texas. The
so
People's
back-
Republic of Denver, Texas.
So many callbacks.
I am excited. Puss. I am excited for Pocket League and Back for Blood, of course. Back for Blood was Pete's pick for one of your
It's party pick.
one of your games, and it came in with a pretty solid 78.
78. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
It's a score.
I think a little lower than I would like. Probably a score that it deserves.
Mhm.
But it's a high eights for me. In my heart, it's a high eights. So it
Good.
feels low.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
That's good.
You know?
There's not too much to say here until they announce Hollow Knight Silk Song as a surprise Christmas Day release, and hopefully reviewers can finish it before New Year so that it counts for this competition.
Is the gunk,
then,
jokes aside, is the gunk still on track?
yeah,
or is that up
confirmed
in
for
the air?
December. No, they
So
confirmed it for
you'll all
December.
have 3 games at least on the board, which is good.
Yeah.
So at least,
Yeah.
that must be lovely.
Well done, Pete. Look, I will say that we're pretty good, with the exception of Steph, who is the winner. We're pretty good at picking which games will be good. She picked 2 games that were bad. One game which is like vilified as one of the worst endings to a game in many, many years. But that doesn't stop the fact that she will win. And so therefore, what do we know?
Is this about the fact that the parents got back together at the end of It Takes Two? Or what?
Good twist.
Are you,
Good twist.
And they were brother and sister.
Nice. It Takes Two, they announced today, has sold 3 million copies.
Good.
Fantastic.
Good.
That is
Nice. That's
It Takes
awesome.
Two. I cannot wait for our
It's
game
still
of the
my
year.
game of the year.
I was,
Yeah.
I was
What's
just
your
about to say the same
recommendation
thing.
for-
It's still my game of the year, for sure.
I've recommended
wait.
it to so many people, and said you should play this with your partner or a friend or someone. It's so yeah.
I keep thinking about all those different like areas we went through and games that it referenced, and
Yeah.
awesome.
I can't wait for game of the year discussions. I cannot wait. Oh my god, it turned out to be a great year for video games. Yeah, very good. Anyway, so Back for Blood, PC Gamer says Back for Blood is a big game, and having finished the first act of 4, it's clear that I'm just getting the meat out of it. I feel like I've probably played 1.5 Left 4 Deads in that time, so map variety won't be an issue this time around. And Game Informer said Back for Blood shines when playing with others and has enough systems, spooks, and FPS fun to make players want to come back for more. So there you go. And speaking of Back for Blood, it's time for our next segment. Very good gameplay.
Missed opportunity
Presented
not
by
to say it
Avexia.
has enough to make people come back instead of come back for more. Back for more? Jepp the Far Boar?
Because there's so much Back for Blood in this episode, I almost gave the the stream title Back for More.
Yeah, there it is.
I just got that. That's really clever, actually. I like that.
Yeah.
Back for more. That's funny. That's funny.
Boom, boom, boom. Ba-dum, boom, boo-doo, boo-doo.
Oh, the lightning killed my
sorry.
feed.
Yeah, sorry.
gonna turn
The
off.
house next door just caught on fire.
Are you okay?
Lightning killed
Yeah,
my
no,
feed.
but thank you for
paused
your
one.
Wow, that must have been really terrifying for you, Nick. How are you feeling?
I'll push through, but send donuts. All right. Presented by Avexia. Thank you very much, Avexia. And it's exciting that this one's presented by Avexia, because I did see Avexia in chat. Thanks to all the talking that we did for Back for Blood, he was like, I think I'm going to have to start playing Back for Blood. So there you go.
He said he was going to refund it.
Yeah, and
Oh,
we
he was
got
gonna
him
new
to
world
change
it.
his mind. We got him to change his
He
mind,
was
because he was
gonna
like, you know
new
what?
world
I'm
it.
actually going to do it. Well, I think also it was because we got so many other people in the chat were like, actually, I'm going to check this out now, that he felt like he could now put together a posse.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
God, we're so fucking
yeah.
good.
So we're going to be watching Nick's gameplay. Let me know if the levels are good. I think they are. I recorded a test earlier and I never watched it back.
Good.
But
but-
audience can let us know if once it gets pew-pewy, it's too loud.
Well, we're all going to pick... oh, no, I don't have the other 4 characters.
Look at
I'm
that.
going to be Walker.
Look at that.
There's
Nick?
2 women to choose from. 2.
No, there's 4.
There's 4.
Oh yes, but in this,
You're not there yet. Yeah.
yeah, I'm saying like as a good thing. How exciting!
okay, right.
Because
Oh,
usually,
sorry, right, yeah.
usually it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll play the one available girl, but there's like
Yeah.
an even gender split here, which is nice.
Yeah. I could play Mum, and if anyone knows who this is,
So
it
cool.
looks exactly like Kara Swisher, and it's uncanny. Or I could play Doc, and I feel like Doc could be a good choice because of the healing and revives,
Oh yeah,
which we might need. So I think I'll go Doc. I haven't played Doc yet.
Nice.
I'm excited by this.
Yeah,
I've even
I
got a
can't
deck
wait to
here called
unlock
Good
Doc.
Heals.
Doc is gonna be my go-to when I unlock her. I think.
There we go. That's the team.
Yeah, so you pick a character and then you pick a deck, and you guys are running the starter deck still.
Correct.
Yeah.
I've tweaked mine a little bit. I made a Good Heals one.
Nice.
Choose your cards. I,
corruption card we have is
always get
Silence
the
is
combat
Golden.
knife to start with because that makes such a big difference when you got to melee things away from you.
Do you?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
interesting. I never have gone for that once.
Are you serious?
It's-
It's
it's
so
epic.
good.
Yeah,
It's totally worth
I
it.
recommend.
I've got melee kills heal 2 health, which could be good.
Okay,
More
so
for ammo and stabs.
so
Oh, that
like,
is that
I
is
have-
good. Yeah.
I have the options here for yes, and that is good, particularly when combined with the combat knife. I have options here for a plus 10% stamina, or the cross trainers, which is a card that I've unlocked, which is 20% stamina, 20% stamina regen, 3% move speed, plus 5 health.
Oh my
Which
god.
is like, okay, now I get what getting those extra cards is all about. It's
Yeah,
about like you power yourself with cards.
Totally. I've also got one here called Inspiring Sacrifice.
Connection
which is
issues.
Right?
Yeah, I just keep getting disconnected from the server, but hopefully it'll be fine.
Hopefully it will be fine. This one is when you or a teammate becomes
Still in our
incapacitated, all teammates heal for 25 health over 20 seconds. So if one of us gets trapped in something, we all get a healing buff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, sick.
And then I'll go healing efficiency. Let's just go full heals, because that's what I am.
Cool. Steph, no, your character's here.
It was just
you-
I loaded back in. Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, nice.
but I just had to re-choose my cards and stuff. That's fine.
And again, just spelling it out. So the guns that are here are all basics, and then we can choose to spend what is it, copper or something? On
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, copper.
copper on attachments and some consumables. The defib I tried using before.
I got
Just
disconnected
right.
again. I think is it an issue because Peter and I are trying to play on the same thing? I feel like this has happened before.
We literally played
We did the
40 minutes
test.
together earlier.
Yeah, okay.
Just reboot your game, maybe?
Full ammo.
Sorry, Gus, what were you saying?
I was just saying it's basically that the weapons are all there as basic mode guns, and then it is you go to the shop, spend the copper on ammo. You can buy team upgrades. You can buy another weapon, but I just always chuck the perks on. Sorry, the attachments, so like a stock and a mag or something like that. I would suggest never using a scope of anything over like a red dot or something.
A red
All
dot,
the scopes seem absolutely like a massive hindrance.
Yeah.
And then you can only carry one major accessory.
Major accessory?
Being like
I chose a
defib or med
purse,
kit.
a small purse.
Yeah, it's a
I'm a
tasteful
clutch
clutch.
man myself.
Yeah.
So you can carry, you get a tactical item, a healing item, and a grenade slot.
Oh, you get two. Yeah, I'm gonna take that toolkit to do the doors if we run into that one you mentioned
Okay,
before.
I've got a defib
nice.
and because I'm healing, so I'll just.
Oh no, Holly's a
go
bot.
mainly on that. I like Dolphin Pants said in chat, if I haven't played back 3 Blood or any games in the franchise, will I understand what's going on?
I remember when Left 4 Dead came out, and I was really into it, and then the sequel was coming out, and I was like, cool, they should call it Left to Die, because it should have a 2 in it. And I thought I was very smart when I said that, and my housemates did not agree, and then it came
No.
out as Left 4 Dead 2, and I was like...
Yeah, because your
"Ugh."
housemates understood how marketing works, and you
Sequels
just
work.
named
No,
a
but-
different game and completely blew.
You're the guy
all
that
your
confused
you're the guy that
brain
named the
cachet.
Wii U and
No, I'm the guy who
tanked
named...
Nintendo.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who named Edge of Tomorrow Kill
I'm gonna,
Die... no,
I'm
Kill
gonna
Die
switch to
Repeat.
the Game Pass version.
That's funny.
Yeah, okay.
If I
You're
ever
still
see
having
another
connection
can
issues
of
with
tuna
that?
Again?
Yeah.
Ugh, it'll
Yeah,
be
weird.
too soon.
I don't know why.
Yes, that is the only thing that's changed is you've installed it on a separate machine.
Just Nick Boy is just swinging a bat in the corner. I'm like, so that's a medical professional? Great. Good to know. Oh, no, I didn't take damage.
No, you didn't take damage. You just.
Oh, the indicator popped up.
You visually took damage.
Thanks. Emotionally. What seems to be the
Not so
problem,
much.
Doctor?
Just some anger issues.
Shooting at me.
Left
wearing
to
a
die
backwards
sounds
hat.
good, says Skivoric. Mito Fanfare said it's like Splatoon 2, real missed opportunity for Splatoon. STLA2N.
Or a W in there.
Totally. Yes, I remember I also was feeling somewhat passionate about The Last of Us, and then I felt like the sequel could have been... I've forgotten the really clever name I thought, but it was like a play on words again.
You told me this. Your sequel name for The Last of Us was two people go on a long trip. Which, but two is as a two.
Two people, yes.
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah. Oh, there you go.
No, don't. Sorry.
Gotta do something.
Let me know when you're online, Steph.
Yeah, I'm just loading.
So how many, Pete, talk me through how many, there's the chapters things you were describing before that was quite confusing, but in terms of like, you know how Left 4 Dead had the acts that each one was like a different location, there was like New Orleans or there was like a rock concert. Are these all kind of like strung along in the same town or like location, or do you do jumps to like different areas and stuff?
Yeah, so like I haven't played through the campaign, so I don't know. But I know that there's a farm because there was one in the beta. The way that it's broken up though is like significantly
I'm online.
Significantly more chapters in Invite to Party. See if that works. We might need to go back to the Fort Hope and
Back for
log
blood?
back in, but we'll see. Oh, back for more?
Back for more?
Back for
Go on, Nick. Steph, did you get the invite?
I did.
Cool. Joined the game. 8569. Yeah, nice.
Did you just tell everyone what my thingy name is?
Yes.
It came up on screen. That's the only reason you saw it.
Okay.
No one sends
We
Steph a
look
friend request. She doesn't want to be your friend.
I'm
no one can see
I'm
you're
bullying. Oh, there we go. There you're in.
It's your Xbox thing. It's public.
Oh, okay.
At one point, at one point, I was pushing Steph's character around, and Nick was in the corner hitting a wall with a bat. I'm like, we've been here too long.
Okay, you seem to be more stably connected this time.
Yeah.
How weird.
Maybe I need to,
trouble spot.
verify my files in Steam.
Maybe.
But can we go kill now?
but-
Can we go kill?
Yes, let's go kill. Let's go kill.
But let's
tapping.
get to the problem with this tech problem. I enjoy doing that so much.
So what we are doing is we've done Act 1, 1 through 4. We're now at Act 1, Part 5, which is Act 1, 2, 1.
Oh my god.
That was Gus's name for The Last of Us Part 2.
Act 1, Part 3.
Which makes zero sense. But the way you can see that it's structured as 4 nodes, 3 nodes, 2 nodes, 4 nodes. Act 1. And so we played 1 through 4 and then had a cutscene which introduced us to the other characters.
Disgusting.
What's up, Steph?
So there
I'm getting terrible lag. I think it's not a problem with the game. It keeps saying connection to the server is a problem, and that seems to be what's happening.
Can you tether your computer to your phone? Or would that not work for you?
I'm not sure.
Run, Nick, run!
You're all currently running on the spot for me.
Is your
Sandstorm Insurgency.
Oh, and now I'm dead.
yeah, you're dead.
Okay.
Is your Wi-Fi playing up on the other computer?
Maybe. Change
Get
things.
away from her.
You messed with things, Peter. You moved things
Yes,
around.
it's all my fault.
It is
Stephanie.
your fault. It is.
Glad you made house calls.
Well, you're making for
it
some
was
very
working fine
big guys here. Big
Well,
guys here.
if it doesn't work, then Steph could be our commentator.
Yeah.
True. Or Steph, you can just take this laptop because I'm just playing on a laptop, and you can play it, and as me logged in here because I've got the save file, and I will watch the stream like I feel like I should be doing anyway.
We are currently taking out a boss called the Breaker, a mini boss.
Make sure you're on the right Wi-Fi as well.
Yeah, I checked. I am.
Steps down again.
I gotta. Once we get this thing.
Restart that second
going in.
computer. You can do that without disconnecting from the stream, right?
Yeah.
Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it! Ah.
I feel like this is the way the game's going.
Nice work. Yeah, this is part of the challenge.
This is Hope 1. We're setting up a triage location until we can extract the injured back to home.
New game mode.
So
Protect the
With the
Steph.
team at the library.
the mini
Save as
bosses-
many as you can.
A regular thing, Pete? Because I haven't run into them yet. That's the first one I
One out.
burst into a new chapter and
yeah,
run into
there's
one straight
Those
away.
little ones.
What?
Yeah, totally.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah, they were like in the demo
there's
and stuff.
there's a giganto boss in the first four parts of Act 1,
Yeah, okay.
which is the ogre, the thing that's like taller than the tunnel that you walk through.
Yeah.
We spent a year.
Are you poisoned?
Yeah, I am poisoned.
Did something throw up on you?
Yeah. It's,
That'll happen. That'll happen.
you're gonna get some
Check
big
cards
ones.
for gold,
Just being
copper.
So I want to know, in a post-apocalyptic environment, at what point, like, what do you do when you run out of bullets? And by run out of bullets, I mean, like, they run out of the ability to manufacture bullets.
So I am, if you look at me,
Yeah.
I'm the character called Hoffman,
I am.
who is clearly a little bit of Philip Seymour Hoffman, but also the new zombie
Nick ran away.
apocalypse archetype,
Yep.
which is the person that makes bullets,
Right.
as seen in
Oh yeah, what was
Dead.
that? Walking Dead,
Yep.
yeah.
the guy that's a bit nerdy and from America South, who knows how gunpowder works and can build bullets from
Yeah, cool.
scratch.
Okay.
We'll manufacture our own.
That
Yeah,
feels
some
like
bullet
that
press.
feels like, considering how many bullets we go through, that's a full-time job for that dude.
Yeah, yeah. Also, it's America, right?
now.
That's true.
There's enough.
They're never
There's
gonna run
enough.
out.
Check your fire.
Sorry.
This is very helpful, just screaming, but Uma and
We understood
ones in the
meaning
walls
of it, though.
jump out at you. Oh, and the ones that do
The
that.
ones on the wall are awful. Oh my gosh. And they put them
terrifying.
in such sneaky, clever places. I had so many jump scare
Really
moments
do.
where I turned around a corner, especially because I had that gold finder thing on, and they always put them with it's going to be gold, and I can see it inside that shipping
you're just
container,
running
and I'm
around,
like,
head
"Ooh,
down, looking for gold."
and then it's got me.
Oh, that thing's gonna blow up on you. I need those bullets. I need those bullets so bad. Oh, yes.
I'm not using a rifle, by the way. I'm using a shotgun, so I can drop.
Oh, yeah.
rifle ammo if you guys run out.
Something that we would do as well in our run through is that at the end of every area, everyone would dump all their ammo on the ground, and then we would like share it all around to people that because you can hold any kind of ammo, even the one that you're not using for any gun, and that way when you can hold a certain amount of each type of ammo, so then you can also hold ammo for your friends if they're using a different gun. Is what I mean.
It does feel like ammo.
And we're playing on recruit,
Good.
because otherwise we'd be dead.
Otherwise, we'd be
Yeah,
dead.
it does feel like
When I miss.
ammo feels far more scarce in this than even on recruit than
SMG.
Yeah, totally.
Sighton.
Ooh, good little sight
impressive.
you picked up there, Gus.
Well, you can't put it
Ooh,
on
good
your
little
baseball bat.
Beretta that I've got here, Nick.
I'm like a reverse thief.
But I won't take that because I think I've got the melee kills give me health thing.
How close are you, Steph? Should we wait for you to come back before Nick presses the button? Press the button.
Oh god,
Oh,
I,
no.
He pressed the button.
I saw her right here.
I literally
But
just
she's a
joined.
bot.
Are you are joining?
Yeah, I joined on you.
Bot Holly is pinned. Bot
Holly's
Holly
pinned.
is
This is bot
pinned.
Holly, but
Fingers crossed this works. Fingers crossed this
See
works.
yourself bash.
what did you restarted that computer?
Bot Holly! Bot Holly!
Bot Holly.
Stab all the things.
Stabby stabby.
Save her. Save her.
I I see you, cheeky
God,
little
they
spitter.
are everywhere.
It's so fun swapping through guns. Oh no, Potholly is
You let
dead.
her die?
No, she's back. She's back.
And better than ever.
House calls.
Hey, and as Hexdeath.
Hey,
It's
don't-
better.
Shh, Peter, shut up. Not her name.
What a twist.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm back. Yay.
Careful in here, careful in here, careful in here. Lots of wall hugger.
Let Nick go first then, because he's the camera.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's not a
Creepy
wall hugger.
these.
That's a
Yeah, no,
person.
that's a human you just put bullets
I'm a
into.
doctor.
Oh, Gus, good job bringing the toolkit.
Oh yeah, I'm here to do the door. Got some money. Got some extended mag.
Ammo.
Some ammo.
Oh, better
Health.
shotgun.
Are you toolkitting? What are you doing,
Steph.
Steph?
Steph, do you want to come in here? It's open.
Oh no.
Around the door.
Oh, no.
Nick, Steph.
It was
Steph, go in that
lag,
room
it was
and go-
lag. Yeah,
Go left
okay.
and left again. And heal up on that. Yeah, nice.
No. Still freaking out.
Yeah.
No time for lying.
No. You can hear a lot of boomers around.
Did you say you can hear a lot of boomers around?
I know that. Sorry, not like the boomers from Left 4 Dead who did the like I
Yeah,
can
I
hear
think
the
like there's a
equivalent of that
few
everywhere.
more. There's a few more creatures that make similar sounds now, just to keep it moody the whole time.
So I've got the option here of a card called Boxer Bags, where we get minus 10% health, but plus 1 team support inventory slot. 600 copper. Does that feel worth it?
Sorry, what are we
Getting
gaining
up-
again? We're getting.
We would get we would get 1 inventory support slot. So like you can carry an extra health kit, I assume, or
Okay.
whatever is in that. I'm gonna get it,
Yes.
and we'll just see what happens.
Oh.
I'm gonna say yes. Any team thing.
Jesus Christ!
Oh my god! Oh my god! That was just horrible.
I came around the corner and Nick's like, I'm gonna get it, and there was just this thing. Oh my god!
Big
oh my
fella.
god! Oh my
Oh,
god!
Nick's very close to death because he keeps waiting in a
Steps in a
melee
corner.
range.
Yeah,
Are you doing that
I'm gonna
close?
try and hotspot off my phone.
Okay, right,
Alright,
because
see what happens.
Bot Holly is just in a corner having a bit of a breakdown by the looks of it.
Yeah.
A-okay. It's so we're saving people, which we've done.
We did it.
and
We
now
saved them all. We just need
Yeah,
to
yeah. So we can go to the safe room,
Safe
but
room.
we'll just wait for Steph to
Yep.
reconnect.
The people that you
this is
save off the
easier
walls-
difficulty. Oh my god, they're here behind me. And I was having a drink. Oh god.
So the people you save off the walls in other scenarios, they're AI that like shoot and try and help you, kind of thing.
So
yeah.
yeah, this is the first chapter
Yep.
that I've played that's included AI help.
Oh, yeah, this way. Sorry. There's a random dudes.
Oh, you're reconnected?
Yeah.
I'm beginning
Alright,
to feel
how's it
like
going?
you guys look.
Steph and my health does not look good on that map. I'm glad we
Yeah.
are at the safe room. He says
So we
running
can
to the
get
safe room
into the
alone.
safe room.
Over here! Glad you made it.
Where's the rest of the team?
I think stamina is very underrated as well. In one of my
Yeah.
runs, I got 5 10% stamina cards in a row, and it just like I
Yeah.
ran for days.
You Usain
I don't know if
Bolted
it's
through
because
the
I'm on
level.
such low health or
Yeah, I think you can't sprint.
I can't
'cause you've
sprint.
got down, like dead
because my
down.
leg is broken. Both my
Or did
legs
you
are broken.
accidentally- Or did you accidentally buy that card again?
Never again. Never again. That was awful.
Ready and killed.
And everyone had to stop and wait for me all the time. And I was playing the old ladies here. Everyone was like, come on, Grandma Steph. And I was like, wait, I'm
You
old.
mentioned the second one we're going into now has a. Is this the Shining Hotel?
So I've never done this, and you can see you'll be able to see on Nick's screen in a second. See the bottom there. Act 1 nodes 1, 2, 3, 4 done. We just did 5. So there's a trio. So 1 through 4 were like a continuation of
That's
like a
an
moment to
hour.
moment.
Yeah.
Right. And now and then there was a cutscene, and now we've moved to a different time.
Yeah.
So
Don't
I
even
think
have
we'll do
acts
3 of
in
these, and
there,
we'll move
like-
to a different time. There will probably be a cutscene at the end of all of these things.
Yeah. Okay.
And I would like to reiterate for Gus, because you do keep asking these questions. Pete has not played anything that we're playing.
Right. Okay.
So he has not gone
I've
any
never
further.
played this map that we're about to play.
So any question you ask him about, does this keep happening in the game? Pete does not have that
No idea.
information. And if he answers, chat, you'll know that he's lying.
Full of shit.
Yeah.
I DC'd again.
Peter,
yeah, that's
where are we
20%
on?
weak spot damage.
All right, I'm out.
Ready up.
Sad.
How's your connection feeling, Steph?
Sorry, did you not hear me?
You said that, and then her character goes,
You were muted in Discord? I didn't hear you in Discord just now.
it's Bot Holly again.
Hello?
But Holly.
I can see you talking in the chat, but not hear you in Discord. What is happening?
I can't.
Oh my
I
god.
can't.
Can you guys hear Steph in Discord?
I can't unmute myself. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
There she is. There she is.
This has been a wild ride so far.
Yeah. Sorry. No, I can't play. I don't know what's going on.
You just failed again?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Sucks.
Tested
That's so
this shit.
weird.
Okay, come and grab my laptop and make sure you have a power spot for it. Nick, vamp for a bit.
I'm happy. I'm
Okay,
happy.
but also-
I'll just watch you guys. It's all good. I feel
Yeah,
like at
yeah,
this,
yeah,
at
yeah,
this point,
yeah.
just play the game.
Totally. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Gus, do you want to buy health, or do you want feel? Can you afford it?
Oh, good point. Yeah, thank you. Should I buy pills and pop them?
No.
instead
If you
of-
go the top, when you go into the buy thing, up the top left, under
No.
refills, the first one is health.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
So
cool.
you can actually
okay, gotcha,
buy
gotcha.
your health back.
Yeah, okay. Right,
Yeah,
that's-
cool.
Yeah. And that,
Okay.
and that.
Is
and one
everyone
of
ready?
those, And I think so.
And Steph, do you have your esports commentary voice on?
It's the bottom of the ninth. Only 4 survivors left. Welcome to football.
We're here in Denver, New York City,
Sunny
Dallas.
Oh my god.
Oh shit! Already.
At the
We're here
moment,
in
it's got
sunny
more holes
Denver.
in it than Swiss
So this is a library?
Seal it up.
Yeah.
I'll be quiet then.
Okay, good.
I'll be quiet then.
And we got to get 6 girders? No.
Oh my god, the spew.
Oh, there's a
Oh my god, I got
spew.
spat on.
there's a spit of boomer.
We have to sort the books out through a Dewey Decimal System.
Right, okay, cool.
Oh my god, oh my god.
I remember this area. Oh, this is cool.
I'm in the children's section.
Remember
That's
it.
haunting.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, wasn't this in the beta?
Don't think so.
I think so.
What am I thinking of?
Because you went to
Oh, you know-
that weird house. Remember the
I
disgusting house?
had this
Yeah,
memory of being here, but I actually think I'm thinking of The Last of Us 2. Which I know is a very different game, but
Yeah.
you walk through a small school
there
in an
was a
area that
kid's-
looks very similar to this,
Same vibe.
There's the thing, and you read the book and like sit there and play guitar, I think.
and you discover what happens here. Yeah, I was like, I remember this part. I remember this. There was kind of a really beautiful story to it.
Thank goodness. Fortification boards.
Beautiful story. It says no.
Ooh,
Look at that vector. That's a good vector.
look at that gun. Oh, fucking Pete, I went to pick it
Yeah, you take it, you take it, you take it.
I was like, look
I'm
at
using
that.
shot anyway.
Bam, gone.
Okay, I've just fortified a window using boards. Is that to say we're going to stay in this area and defend
Bot
it?
Holly is not having a good time of it.
Bot Holly.
Bot Holly
the bots,
is-
the bots do not work.
Oh my gosh! Protect Holly! Protect Holly!
Bots do not work.
Today's not your night.
So we put
Protecting
the,
Holly
the
now.
boards over these windows here that are... Oh, Bot Holly, you do not look well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so we got to
marked
fortify.
ones,
Yeah, true.
Oh, that's right. That's right there. Yeah.
Oh, like the church.
Which makes me think that we are
Yes.
then, once it's done, I think 3 do it. Yep, like that.
Yep.
And after that, 2 of 6.
Next window.
Oh, there's a window over near Nick. Yeah, Nick's found one.
I found one.
Yep,
Yep.
I
nice.
assume we would then defend this area rather than board it up and leave.
Maybe
yeah,
we're
I'm
boarding
su-
it
I'm-
up
I'm
to
sure
keep the book safe.
Yeah,
That's knowledge is of
probably
course
what
the
it
thing that requires saving more than human life.
The ladder upstairs. Spooky paintings.
Oh yeah,
We have to
and
board up
creepy
6
weird door.
windows.
Hi.
Excuse me. So,
4 of 6 windows
Are you
boarded
lost?
up.
you need a
Next
toolkit.
one.
Need to
Oh, I have a
That's
toolkit.
not going to work.
Where are you,
Money.
Nick? You're upstairs.
I'm upstairs. I'm
there.
trying to find the last window.
Where's? Oh, there's a ladder. Bot Holly leads the way.
It's not up here though.
Bot Holly's
There's
stuck in the door.
Probably one downstairs.
Downstairs, because no one's been
Cocktail
down
over
there.
here.
I'm down here. I can't. Did you board one
Oh,
up
I
down
hear
here?
something. I
Gus?
hear something.
I
Here it
did
is. I
board
found it.
one
I
up.
found it. I found it.
Nice.
Hope 1, you copy.
Did you say you found a door that needed a toolkit? Oh yeah, hello.
Yeah, upstairs behind you.
Is an outbreak at Hope.
Agreed. Hope safety.
Okay,
is
I hear a very close
So,
gurgling noise,
I'll trust your
and it's either
sterilized
Bot Holly
infection.
or it's
Or you're hungry.
or I'm hungry.
Still our people.
So I guess we should all pick a fortified door, right? Because that's what we're gonna be trying to defend.
I've opened a room with heaps of ammo here upstairs, so if things get spicy.
Oh, things are coming in.
Things
already.
are spicy.
Yeah.
They're coming up the stairs from the
Oh,
bottom.
yeah. Oh god, they are. We haven't finished boarding up the rooms.
No, we had.
Have we? We
No,
got 5,
5,
no, it says
5,
5,
6.
6.
5 or 6.
Let's do this.
As a doctor, you're not meant to be inflicted.
Spot Holly is pinned.
But Holly, what is she doing?
Holly.
What is she doing?
You're in our hearts, Spot Holly.
Glad you make house calls.
I don't know what this last window is. Ooh.
Yeah, where are you?
Good. Oh, vendor closed. Oh, this is the safe room. I went all the way back.
And there should be at the very top tool room you're running into now, Pete.
And there's no friendly fire on this difficulty, is there?
No.
Is it over?
It
And
looks
then
like
it
it
scales
should.
up pretty dramatically.
Yeah. I think in the difficulty above this, there is team damage, but it's significantly less than the damage that you do to zombies.
I think you do 35% damage on normal difficulty, and then
SMG.
maybe full damage on the hardest.
Whoa, that
Ouch.
would be so tough.
So
Might not be.
We're still missing one fortified
One window. Yeah, if you
Yes.
just keep running around the edges, we should see.
Yeah, I
Save that for
couldn't.
me.
I can't see it on the middle. I'll go upstairs.
Usually
now.
it highlighted it.
Someone
one?
walked into it. It was highlighting them.
Bottom floor looks clear. Well,
Found it.
thank you, game.
Where is it?
Bottom floor.
Ah, yep.
Wait, what?
Downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Close off their
It was literally just.
Yeah, but it was in the side room. It was
Ah,
it was
it was.
the one door that I just never bothered going in, and I'm sure you did the same thing. All right, it is.
All right, hang on. Oh,
fortified.
things. Oh,
Oh,
shit.
jeebus.
Ready?
What was that? Is there a tag system? We haven't quite.
If you hit
Q.
Q, then it
This is Hope 1.
it's
Any
like
survivors?
context sensitive tags.
Just
So
bodies.
Yeah, right.
It'll come up with a little bird symbol if you tag birds or.
I found an exit.
Kinda
We can
stuff.
leave
yeah,
now.
and that's
I'm
where we're
leaving.
gonna go.
But right
And
now,
Or you
out
can
to
choose
the-
your own tag, which I think is cool because then you can just put thumbs down.
those there in deep
This sucks.
can
This
be
sucks.
This sucks.
any
Run,
more.
run,
Sucks, don't go there.
This area sucks.
This sucks also.
This all sucks.
This dead guy sucks.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, you got the baby. Call him war babies.
Like, see.
Wall. I'd like to see
God,
the
baby
Nick
on me.
Baby got me.
Oh, Holly, you're wonderful, baby.
My God.
I stabbed my way out of it.
You gotta. You almost blew up Bot Holly.
Nah, she's fine.
Fella,
I feel a kinship with her after possessing her momentarily.
Didn't even touch the surface after possessing her.
Yeah, big fella, big
The
fella.
Haven apartment building. Haven't
Yeah,
been
where are you
able to
going,
report
mate?
Communications. Search for survivors.
This gun
I
is
need
quite
help.
good.
That's a defib. No, I'm
Oh, is
good.
that defib?
I picked one up. I've got one now.
Oh, cool.
Does that
What's
go in
your,
the medical slot?
No, it goes on
no.
the utility tool.
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
What's the scope like on that?
Big
gun?
fellas.
Reloading.
It's not
Yeah, I
too
feel-
bad.
I feel like that's
This-
already too much. Oh no! Oh, it's not too much. It's not.
No, I reckon it's probably like it's usable, but it's still
Not my fault you're
like
in the
I still
way.
prefer like a red dot or a
Yeah.
holographic one.
I felt like I didn't need too much scope in the start.
Incoming
and
horde
as
in
soon-
2 minutes, will they?
soon as you start,
rescue remaining humans, apparently.
Trying to pick dudes off from a
People
distance.
at the old
You
Yeah.
really
apartment
want one.
building.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Also, there's some of those big dudes that have like crit spots on them, and it's good for targeting crits.
Yeah. Particularly the last part of the first 4 collection, which everyone's seen by now, of like crossing the broken bridge to the cruise ship.
Dude. Yeah,
It's like, oh my goodness. You can pick some of that stuff and feel it. It's good.
bad noise.
Yeah.
I
Bad
made
noise.
something angry. I made something angry.
Horde is coming.
Leave that.
I've awoken the horde.
This is speed
It's
destroy the door. Wow.
it's the people of Barbados
Goddamn.
Oh my
angry at you
God.
for calling their country a republic.
That's what it is.
They're coming.
well,
They're
no,
coming for you now.
According to chat, they switched from a Commonwealth to a Republic in the last year. So Gus was right.
Good on you.
But with
you serious?
absolutely
Yep.
no knowledge of it, so I don't deserve any of the kudos for that.
Wow. Just take it, Gus. Take it.
People's
Take it.
Republic of Barbados.
Gus, I'm up behind you. And I, oh god.
Feels Republic.
Okay, stay still for a second, Gus. I'm just gonna heal you.
Get me up. Thanks, dude. You're the
Stay
dog.
still.
Oh, hang on. There's a panel here. No, I got a free. Don't heal me. I got this. I'm super healed.
Oh,
that one's
Multifish
a-
says
Oh
they're
my
switching.
God, look
they're
how many
switching in November, so technically they're not a republic yet.
Oh my god, it's just a wild ride, that story, isn't it?
Where's the safe room? Where's the safe room? How do I get up there?
Where the fuck is the safe room?
I've got 4 minutes. I got 4 minutes.
Oh, it's over here. It's over here.
Yeah,
it's all the way over
big guy
here.
down there. Big guy
I'm
down
coming
there.
horde in 30 seconds though.
Everyone back down and out. Hang on.
Oh my god!
The safe room. I think we created the safe room.
Don't go that way.
The library is the safe. Oh, big dude inside the building is bad.
Yeah. But if you
another
come
one.
out and just jump down, we can go to the safe
Yeah,
room.
come down the fire escape. Now we just make tracks.
Hang on, I'm coming out. I'm going
12
out.
seconds. Yeah, let's go. 12 seconds. Let's move.
Scouts have confirmed a large number of Ridden approaching.
Don't come this way. It's a dead end.
Quick! Run!
Oh gosh.
Coming.
All right,
All eyes
time.
on me.
If you make it, Nick,
Yep.
then you move everyone forward. So
I'm out of stamina.
Just sprint it. Just sprint it, Gus.
I'm puffed. All right.
Oh, fuck you.
oh no,
Good, you, buddy.
the game knows you're trying to win it
This is
the
awesome.
easy way.
How good's that shelter spot?
Oh, there's vomit everywhere. We're in. We in? We're in.
It's in my mouth.
Oh god, it's
got
in
in?
everywhere. It's in all the cracks. Oh dear.
No problem. No problem.
Lapscallion,
problem. No
just
problem.
talking about the Republic thing. Lapscallion saying Gus with the no scope geopolitics knowledge.
yeah.
Very funny.
This game is, I know sweaty is the term we've used, but it's turning me back into that PC kind of twitch. My eyes are dry at the end of each round. Like, it's just that, like,
Don't blink.
frenetic,
Totally.
Yeah.
blink, just like, oh, yeah, it's
should have
good.
said-
It's a
instead
good
of-
feeling.
Instead of sending out like baseball bats with nails in them or something for PR, they should just send out like Visine eye drops and water bottles.
Totally.
Nick, ready up, mate.
man.
Come on.
So I'm sorry, I was just trying. I was being entertaining. I forgot to ready up.
So this is the last of the 3 that leads to a possible cutscene.
Yeah. So this is the last of a collected 3 chapters, whatever that means.
And the chapter itself is called Barroom Blitz. So
Create a distraction in the bar so the survivors
Okay.
can escape, and then complete the level with all 4 cleaners alive to earn bonus copper and supply.
So we're gonna put the jukebox on.
you ready, Steve?
That's what we're gonna do.
All right, fellas.
What are you gonna choose? What are you gonna choose?
Well, see, I really like the 10% ammo capacity, but this new weapon doesn't seem to run out of ammo nearly as fast. So I'm going to go with copper because it will help.
Yes.
It will help me. It will help me provide things for my team.
You can be a loot goblin.
I am a
Loot Goblin. The shop's open, guys. Get shopping.
Get shopping.
Got a problem.
Shopping.
The Ridden over here.
I've got that. Don't want to replace that.
I'll buy the.
I'm gonna buy Team Stamina.
I'm gonna buy.
okay.
I'm gonna buy the
Cool.
team support item upgrade.
Okay, good. I'm just going to be selfish and buy shift myself.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm not because I don't need anything. I've got
Get
everything.
that. Oh no, you said you don't really run out of ammo, do you? I always
No,
get
I
the
like this gun.
that ammo box is awesome. What gun is it?
Except the ammo, but the ammo box replaces the defib for me, and since I'm going full heals, it's an SMG.
You gotta save Holly.
I gotta save Bot Holly.
Gotta save Bot Holly.
It's me, your mum. It's your mum. I know I'm younger than you, but
Doing this? Doing it.
we're doing it.
Oh my god, there's survivors out here. I'm like, what are you doing outside the door?
God, yeah.
These are survivors.
These people
God.
are not in a good spot.
Oh, we have to keep them alive as well, I assume. Like,
Well, I think these are the idea is
These
that
people are gonna populate the new world.
yes.
So
I believe the
I
idea
found
is that
outside.
the last
We're
2
gonna have-
kind of missions that we've done in saving survivors have been
you
like
set up some.
this hotel is full of survivors. We're clearing it out, and we're going out and collecting survivors and coming back.
right.
Steph, we're gonna have to fuck all these people.
Yeah, it's true. And just straight after
All
this,
right,
it's
fellas,
just
let's
speed
go.
You
dating.
reckon that's the next? You reckon that's the next 2 chapters in Act 1?
That's
Yeah,
the next
that's
the
rest of the
chapters?
game.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Not meant to be inflicting.
Accidents happen.
That's when Nick's
That
stamina
feels
really
good.
comes into play.
That's 50% stamina.
Keels bar.
Excellent.
Head to Keel's bar. So we're
that's the
distracting
distraction
at the
that we want
bar.
to create. Yeah.
Yeah. Pete, you're totally right about the jukebox as well. I hope it's something fun.
Over here.
I am playing without any sound.
I actually heard it's licensed music, and it's been a bit of an issue.
Scallion
Oh, really?
says the DLC is breed for speed.
Oh no! Let's at least hear the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Sweet,
you can
sweet
see
gold,
it now.
all
I can see it, Steph, and I know where it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it
Yeah.
before they
All
get
the
it.
copper
It's gonna draw you into places that are very dangerous, but you won't be able to resist because you love the gold.
Because I
love
am
the gold.
Because I am what? A loot
A
goblin.
loot goblin.
Loot goblin.
Loves
That's
to
all
gobble.
the copper that Steph needed for her internet connection that we've pulled up from the ground.
Does anyone need ammo?
God
No, I'm
bless
good.
the Prepper.
I
Bandage?
love
No,
the
neither.
bat. I love the bat. Like I
Yeah, you've been running around. I just thought you were sporting it for, like, you know, the
A
look.
joke.
aesthetic purposes.
Oh, look at this fucking silent shotgun.
And look at the thing. Start the jukebox to draw the horde.
Let's hear at least what the start of it is.
Yeah, are we allowed to?
Okay. Yeah, we'll be fine.
Let's find out.
I can't hear it. What is it?
Oh, it's Pulp Fiction.
No one knows this song, right?
Really?
Yeah.
It's the Pump It Loud. It's the Black Eyed Peas version.
Oh, wow.
It's not, but
How litigious are the Black Eyed Peas?
oh, they're
Very.
fine. Licensed music, more please. Sort yourself out, Twitch. I want more of this.
Oh, I agree, man. It's all on Amazon at this point.
God!
Yeah.
Amazing. What a moment. What a moment. So what is the 406?
Careful, Rika Guts.
I saw that. What did that say? Rika Guts. What?
Can trigger the horde. So
Yeah.
that's like the boomer vial.
Oh.
The music is so good. How loud is it in the
Destroyed
stream?
in. Oh, the bus is leaving.
Should you mute it, Nick?
Oh, cool. No, it's actually fading out. Like
Okay,
the
good.
jukebox.
It just died. It just
That's
We've
nothing.
died. Oh wait,
Fix the juke-
repair the jukebox.
Prepare it. It better come back with Queens. Don't stop me
I
now.
love
whatever.
that in the midst of a zombie apocalypse where you're getting attacked by things, you take a quick moment to just, get a spanner and
the-
start working on the jukebox.
It
You can still
sounded
have
great
rad
too. Did
tunes.
the whole slow
Yeah.
down and then speed up again.
It should give you a buff if you fix the jukebox. It should give
Totally.
you a
Oh
buff,
god, big fella.
a morale buff.
Yeah, like an energy thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's actually baked into the mission completion. So
Oh, spicy. Nick, get a gun out for God's sake.
I'm helping.
I mean, you look great while you're doing this. Well, they're attacking the jukebox. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. They hate this song.
Ah.
Wait, why did they hate the music?
because I hate
They
their
all
They're
work
from
for
technology.
Twitch.
You know what? They all work for Twitch.
They do.
It might be. This might be the rock concert equivalent then.
Yeah.
We're all here to shut down copyright strikes. Get him. Fixing.
And I was healing you as you were
I saw
fixing
that.
it.
This is the final boss, so they do destroy it no matter what because it's like mission is segmented.
Maybe you should go up front.
It's back.
We're gonna get some big dudes coming, I think. I'm gonna just Molotov that door, Nick, if you run back.
Yep.
Music's out. That was a natural fade. That was a parent's
That's a
dinner
good
party
fade.
fade if I've ever heard it.
Dead hour. If only they
Oh,
knew
never
when
rock.
they were erecting that sign.
I know, it's like they built an ironic zombie apocalypse bar.
Nice.
Oh my god, the way that the glowing head stalkers creep into the bar look like
Yeah.
drunks at the end of the night.
How gross are the witch equivalent ones where they like have that gross neck thing?
Jesus! I'm out of ammo. Switching to pistol.
There's some rifle ammo in the middle of the floor.
Might have to.
Okay, big guy coming in near the bar.
You dead.
Oh,
This
is here.
music's
Car
so
is here,
good for this.
isn't it?
Escaping the Humvee.
To the Humvee.
As a doctor, you're not meant to be
This is
inflicting.
my Humvee. I don't want any dents or scratches. Get in. Oh.
Good Nick.
He's having a swing, mate.
Oh, he's dancing.
I jumped in too quick.
But Holly, come on!
Oh, Holly, there's no time.
But Holly, run!
She's coming. She's coming.
He's a coming. Here we go.
She was waiting for you to ask her to dance.
Nice. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, well done.
Mini cutscene.
That's. I mean, they help. Little cutscenes like that are just
Totally.
little fist pump moments, aren't they?
Yeah.
Except for when you're playing with randoms and you can just feel those people going, whoever it is, skip the fucking cutscene. Stop watching the cutscene. Get to the fucking.
Skip the
I'm
goal
like, no.
celebration. Stop saying no problem. Just skip the goal celebration. Never.
No problem. No problem.
No problem.
No problem.
Good work, guys.
Good.
So I also just unlocked a card that round. You probably did too, Nick, because you're swinging that bat around the whole time. But the I got like I've collectively gotten 500 melee kills or something, or maybe it was 100. But it was like I got a card because I got that achievement that gives you a brawler card.
Yeah, cool.
And maybe you haven't because I've been stabbing people for a few hours.
Well, a lot of my swinging was a lot of just
dance swinging,
air dance swinging.
Yeah.
I feel like I never properly look at these. Complete the level within the time limit to earn 500 copper, more gold. The power is out and a new snitch mutation has emerged that will instantly call a horde when alerted. Oh yeah, that's like the witch.
Are these stacking the more we play? That's what I'm trying to work out.
Aim for
Or are they
heads to
just-
pull them down quickly.
Okay, so
Isn't that
right.
just standard?
Yeah. So what's the deal with this? Like corruption cards. These are new
They're
ones
like,
that could pop. No, but like, am I picking one?
No,
They're
all
level-
three of those rolled
can't-
for this round.
Yeah,
But
they're
I'm saying,
like
do you get
modifiers of
more
a
per-
level, and they're random. So sometimes you get a corruption card that gives you an effect that means.
What about
that-
getting 3 versus getting 1? Is that because we've continually played and we're getting better or something? Like, is that if we just jumped
That
in on
hasn't
this, would we have
necessarily
got
been my
1?
experience so far, but I have finished the game, so I can tell you yes.
Yeah, good to know.
Nigrotex makes the good point to clarify. The corruption cards are per level, but all the buff cards you get stack.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, right.
So that's why your active cards, that pool will stay large, and the corruption cards will get recycled every chapter. And
Yeah.
no, do they reset when you die?
You can also find random cards like in the level as well. You can just pick up random perks and stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to pay for them, but
How are we feeling? Do we want to see
free ones?
see if the next area is
Yeah.
new?
Let's just do a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
Little
okay?
Creekford. Are we in the
Is that okay?
same
Just a
room?
little bit more?
We're in the same area. We've
We
done
probably
this
came
before.
back here and
So
starting.
we came back to Fort Hope, so we might be going out the other door. So maybe Act 1 is all like Act 1, Part 1 was getting to Fort Hope, and now the next
Right.
3 parts of Act 1 might be like go around Fort Hope and fortify it more.
go around.
Go around.
I got another. I bought both the team things. So
Oh,
I've got
nice.
2 slots for the tools now.
Moneybags McGee.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Because
so
of that
just
gold-
to clarify,
gold
we did
goblin.
work out the
Gold finder,
corruption
yeah.
cards stacking or
Perfect.
recycling.
I need some trauma.
The corruption cards recycle. So every round there are different corruption cards specific to that level.
Right.
Like modifiers, like level modifiers.
In a week or so, maybe.
So this level, it's that, and they're also like some of them are for bonuses. They're not like negative effects. Like one of those cards I think was like complete the level in under however many minutes, and you get
Yeah,
bonus
those ones seem
gold
like
500 gold or
corruption,
something,
more like
yeah. They're
challenge
huge, they're
based
huge.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but some of them are like all zombies will have this effect now or whatever, and for this level specifically, that's the modifier you have.
This is literally the same thing.
Yeah, head into town and search for the lost supplies.
Yeah, but it's nighttime now.
There's a screecher. Oh, I alerted it rather
Oh
than...
fucking hell! Oh my
Okay.
god! Look at the
So
vibrating.
you shot at it?
You're supposed to 3, 2, 1.
How
you
is
go to
it
3,
more
2,
night
1.
than it
Or
was
just
before?
ignore it, right?
Yeah, or just
I thought it was night when we were last here, and now it's like, it's more night.
No, it's more night.
it was evening time. And
Well,
now it is
evening,
night.
twas dusk, now 'tis Late evening.
Pete, do you know if later in the game it gets even more night?
Yeah, I think it just is progressively nighter the more you play. Another fucking.
That said, you sit night out long enough, and night gets lighter eventually.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know.
That's a
if
cool
that's
mechanic.
just-
I like that.
It's
It's part of the nighter and lighter system that they've been implementing.
That only comes with the deluxe. That only comes with the deluxe.
Yeah, you gotta pay extra for that shit.
Big hefty, big hefty, big hefty, big hefty.
Oh my gosh, those hammer arm dudes scare me so much.
Oh, an LMG is delightful.
The shotgun, fucking excellent.
You reckon?
Yeah. I mean, I've got a kitted out shotgun, but
There's a rifle that I really like, but I can't remember which one it is. I just don't like anything that's like burst fire or single fire. I like bullet spray.
Yeah.
But with a little bit of accuracy, a little bit more accuracy than a machine gun.
Yet to see the advantage of any form of sniper rifle in this game.
they're big damage, so
And they drop big guys if you pop their.
if you hit in
lobby
crit
bits.
spots, and you can. Some cards are spec for that, and it like makes the crit spots bigger.
Oh, okay.
So easier to hit. It doesn't
cool.
physically make them bigger, but it makes the hitbox around them bigger, so it just makes you like a better sniper.
Makes you think you're a better sniper.
Yes. But that's all we really need.
Oh, the darkness is very oppressive.
Yeah.
It really is.
That feels good.
Came out of nowhere.
Does feel good.
Look at all that gold. Oh my
Look at it all.
gosh.
Look at it all.
Makes me so
I found some.
so
I found some
happy.
too. I found some. And more.
All the things you're going to buy with that, Nick. Think of all the things you're going to buy.
So
I
excited.
think there was one you didn't pick up.
I believe I'm
Yeah.
covered in
Maybe
guts.
not. Maybe not. But worth checking, you know?
We're checking.
Could be good.
Could be anything. Oh, there's meds
Oh,
here.
health thing.
Gus and Pete, if you come here, you can come
Yes,
heal
but
up.
you only get one that's... Oh, actually, on easy, do you all get it?
Easy has 4.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it said there was 4 charges.
Yeah, got it.
On the harder
and there are a
difficulty...
fuckload of them coming in now.
Oh my lord!
On the harder difficulty, only one of them is free, and
on
the
there
rest
around
of
the
them
pipe bomb.
you have to pay for, and that's what we ended
Wow.
up spending all our money on.
Yeah, right.
Gosh, that'll never not be satisfying. They're throwing the pipe bomb the thieves and just watching them all
Yeah.
gather around it.
No slack, they'll be back.
Slack, they'll be back.
You see the Twitter feud between KFC
Dwayne The Rock
Gaming?
Johnson. Oh yes. Oh fuck. How amazing was it?
No?
No?
KFC,
Oh my God.
KFC Gaming did a tweet that had a picture of Left 4 Dead and then a picture of the box art for this, and it said, "For every great thing, there's a poor imitation," or something like that. It's like it's made by for starters, it's made by the same fucking people. Fuck
Yes,
off.
which
Yeah,
KFC Gaming clearly is not run by someone who understands that.
And then
amazing.
and then they what do they call it? When you retweet,
Retweet.
but then you also add something to it.
Quote tweeting.
They quote retweeted it. Turtle Rock Studio did and said 11 herbs and spices and still no taste.
Incredible. Incredible.
Amazing.
Like I
we need to-
generally don't like
Here's to a
corporation like
No matter how
public Twitter beef,
Oh,
whatever.
Nick.
But holy fucking shit, that thing is the best smackdown a company has ever put out.
Totally.
We
Do
need
you-
to carry 2 boxes into.
Yeah.
the
So
safe
did
room
we
by the
miss
looks of
one
it.
in the last warehouse?
I just picked up one.
Okay.
Supplies looking tight.
So someone else needs to grab the other one.
Where
Was it in the same spot?
I just don't think so. I just
Yeah. So I think they'll be randomly scattered around in
shit,
these
okay.
warehouses. So
So what are we looking for? A supply box?
yeah, it just looks
is
like
that
a
it? I think
yes,
that's it.
Intel.
probably.
This
Or
could
no,
be
that's
useful.
cards.
Ammo here.
Isn't it? That's a box full of cards. Yeah.
I'll take this.
like, I totally
Quick kill.
think that's
50%
hilarious,
accuracy disables aim down sight.
Don't do
No.
that. Oh my god. Help.
I'm using a shotgun.
Coming.
I am aiming down
You've got to have like some sympathy for whoever it was in the PR.
But I am
Whoever it
using
was in the
my
PR
eyes.
department. It was like who thought they'd made that jump about how much of this looks like Left 4 Dead, and just for that like afternoon, they thought they were just absolutely king shit. Going, I can't believe people don't recognize the difference between the similarities, I should say, between this and Left 4 Dead. I'm gonna tweet this. It's like no.
Yeah.
But then also,
I've got it.
also,
I've got it.
Oh, he's got it. He's got
Not
it.
only your boss getting angry at you because you didn't know the game was made by the same studio, so your KFC gaming boss, but then KFC CEO calling you up going, what the fuck, man? Why'd you drag our chicken into this?
Even the Colonel knows better.
Even
Leave the chicken out of it.
Imagine getting a
Jesus.
call from the Colonel.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Revoking your Twitter password.
Stress levels.
Are we all in?
Yeah,
we
we
in?
close the door. Get to
Close
the
the door.
safe room. Close that door.
What about Butt Holly?
She's here.
There
She's
she is.
safe.
There she is.
What about Butt Holly?
Butt holy.
Butt Holly. Oh, it's very easy to keep. It's very Moorish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like chicken.
Like 11 herbs and spices.
Don't waste the gravy, says Ezra.
Do we know what the 11 herbs and spices are? Or is it a secret? Is it 11 secret herbs and spices?
People have worked it out. I think it's
Hinging for
Is it
Babbage
oregano?
He pretty much
and then
worked
a bunch
it
of
all out.
others?
Yeah.
It's oregano
There's some salt.
and yeah.
Should
I'd
we
say
do
at least
this- should we
I'd
do this
say at least
last?
4 of them are salt.
Oh, you're obsessed.
Oh, no, we don't have to. No, sorry. I was thinking of closing it out, but we don't have to. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We got a post show to do.
Yeah.
We got a post show to do.
But
Exactly,
also, you should
exactly.
you should go. We'll go back to the camp,
Yep.
and you can show people what you can do with the supply points that you've earned, just to show
yeah,
the runs that you can pick. Because I just think it's quite clever, and once you see that and start building into it, it's where the game starts becoming like, oh, I understand why I'm struggling right now, because I haven't built this yet. Yeah, okay. I hit leave game, and I don't know if it's going to pull everyone back to this, but
I don't know, but I went to the camp and I think
Steffi, you
the
back
guy
in?
said. I think when I went back to the camp, the guy said the AFC has reached out, but it sounded like he went, KFC's reached out. We need to resupply. I was like, what's going on?
It is believed the 11 secret herbs and spices are paprika, onion salt, celery salt, sage, garlic powder, allspice, oregano, chili powder, pepper, basil leaves, and marjoram.
I think I've mocked spices so much I don't even know which is the right one. So I say paprika instead of paprika, and I say oregano instead of oregano, and I don't know which is which.
Oregano is the American way of saying it.
Okay, right.
I say paprika. Paprika sounds like something Elizabeth Olsen would say to try and sound like she's from Sokovia or whatever it is.
Paprika.
But I feel
What
like
a pull,
paprika.
I feel like I used to say paprika, and maybe
She says
shifted.
it.
She does
say
say it
paprika.
in
Paprika.
Age of Ultron. She goes, you even got the paprika back.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
there you go.
So you are spot
It's a
on
fun
with that.
word to say.
Well done.
It's a fun word to say.
Paprika.
Paprika.
So I need to pick a track to go down. I've got Paul's Alley, which seems
you got
to be...
You got 343 points, so you could
Yeah,
finish
I
a
can
full
probably
run.
full track.
And what it does is it replaces. So you'll finish one of these. You'll get 8 of 8, and then it will. You don't have to then do the other ones that are there. It replaces that one with a new one as well. So it's like maybe that's more aligned.
Yeah, right. So that one seems... So what's this? Is combat train? So this is all ammo, aim speed, all that stuff. I did the first one I did was a heals one, and this is... Let's do this. Let's do all the stamina stuff.
Nick, you're channeling a
this
lot
is one
of,
of your good cards.
You're channeling a lot of Bo Burnham as you stare in the dark off your
Yeah.
screen with a purple light. I realized
30.
My color light in the background wasn't actually plugged into the wall, which is why I died, and now I look like I'm slowly
this.
stringing
I like it.
out into madness.
Oh yeah. You also look like maybe like a horror movie setting. Like I feel like there's going to be someone that appears behind you because you're really well lit, but the background is really shadowy.
Totally, yeah.
So what did it give
That's
you?
fucked.
Then replace that with Bridgetown.
Bridgetown, yes.
And
And then
what's-
I get...
So that's more
Stamina
stamina
regen.
spec. So it's like you,
right, okay.
you can push harder down that line.
Because I like that card that it just unlocked. If I go campaign decks, like this is the one that I'm using at the moment.
Yeah.
Which was you can shoot while sprinting was one of the ones that I got, but you were looking at like, was that shoe one that seemed to be like
Shoe is
heavily-
boss. Look at that right
Yeah.
in front. 4
That-
perks
wow.
on a single card.
Yeah, huge.
nuts. Yeah.
And superior cardio as well, the one all the way to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even that 20% weak spot damage. So, like, every time one of the 30 bullets that spit out of my submachine gun hit a glowy orange thing, I'm doing 20% extra damage.
20%.
And I guess, pair that with a sniper rifle or something, and you can drop those guys in a couple of shots. That'd be easy.
Yeah. I really like this. Yeah, because I didn't have it. I really like the card system.
I like it too. I think it's awesome.
How it keeps playing out. It's cool. And there is, I will save this, there are heaps, because if you go to solo deck, you can make a deck and it just unlocks everything already. You don't need to go through and unlock them. And there's 16 pages of different cards that you can add to your deck. So yeah, there's like, also I love the fucking art. Look at that.
Mac and
100%
Dagda
fire
points out
damage.
something I haven't seen. Oh wow. That's amazing. Mac and Dagda says you can also order them on how they get pulled into the game, which is cool because you can obviously go like, I want the mobility one right up top or whatever.
Is that what the order is? I thought the order was just...
I didn't know that either.
That's an actual order?
Yeah. So you could, so I always put the knife one at the start because I want the knife one at the beginning. And then you just go adding, and then towards the end when you might need more health and stuff like that, as it gets harder, you can put your like health cards and stuff.
That's so true, because it's like, at the top, it's like you don't necessarily need the like one extra life and 5 health. You don't need that at the beginning. But oh, I did not know that.
There's a whole meta
but you do want gold early. Like you want to sense that. Yeah, nice, cool. Okay, great. There you go.
I like it. I like it,
Pete. I like it. I like what you've done, Pete. I like what you've done with the place.
All right, and the whole game as well, all the way to the end. Fantastic job. Wonderful.
All right, we're going to go to a very short break and come back, close this thing out so we can get to the post show.
Nice.
Hello.
Yeah, see, nice versions of us are gone. It's post show.
This is post show.
We made video out of spite.
Have you had a whole bottle of wine?
Not yet. There's a whole glass left.
You're trying to yourself up using the floor.
Are you stuck? And they're like,
you're not doing a perfectly round if you're eating and cream popcorn.
Oh my god, change the fucking subject.
It's the most hideous thing you've ever drawn.
3 cups of
Yeah. Is this what your looks like? Is that it for the
I think it probably should be. You take it to a really gross visual place.
It's clearly chugging a cup of while sucking back into...
Nick is going to open his big dumb mouth and he's going to talk about gross stuff and it's going to be gross. My cousin got sick and the hospital bills are through the roof. It really got me thinking, if I ever got sick, what are we doing to protect our future and the future of our family?
That's an understandable fear. And I think we should do one simple thing, and that's contact the Learn Programming Academy.
Okay, I was thinking we would get life insurance.
Get your exclamation mark Tims out in the chat, because over 1 million people trust Tim from the Learn Programming Academy to deliver high quality, quick and affordable tutorials on how to code. And they're all videos, so you don't even need to know how to read. I know I can't.
But I'm worried about dying.
We all are. So why not live forever by coding a robot to transplant your old, disgusting organs for fresh new ones while you sleep? I'm sure it's possible.
I don't think it is.
Well, that's because you're stupid and you haven't contacted the Learn Programming Academy.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
The Learn Programming Academy. You'll give it a C++.
Nick! Where the hell were you?
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much for sticking around to the end of the show. Big thank you there to Z and camycamera for your words from our sponsors, and of course Tim, who is no longer with us, but of course here in spirit. I wonder if Tim still watches.
I think he would.
Yeah, from a beach in Barbados.
Maybe.
I love that.
Maybe he is the head of the Republic of Barbados now.
The soon-to-be Republic of Barbados.
Republic.
Soon to be.
Out in the chat.
I love it. Well, Tim, if you are watching, we love you.
What the fuck did you just do to my government?
What the fuck did you just make it?
It's good. It's good, guys. That'll make it into the intro next week. If you want to be like Tim and kick back, surrounded by voluptuous pina coladas on a beach somewhere, then you should head to patreon.com/backpocket or backpocket.gg and become a member of our Patreon and our wonderful community. Oh, goodness, we would love to have you. We would love to have you. We have so many of you already, and we love all of you, but you need more brothers and sisters, and so we would love to get you involved as well.
Is this a cult? I don't think you can call our viewers brothers and sisters without it being a cult.
I put the cult lights on, so yes, it is.
Okay.
I think people are happy with the idea of a cult that Nick is the leader of. I feel like they know where it's headed and they're okay with it.
Steph, God fucking damn it makes me so happy to hear you say that. Yes, so thank you very much to everyone who is a pocketeer. We branded you as a cult years ago with the word pocketeer. We love the fact that you support the Patreon if you can. If you can't, it doesn't matter. We just need your eyeballs and maybe the occasional share on the social media platform of your choice. If you want to find us on the social media platform of your choice, you've got 4 choices: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And it's at BackPocketVids for all 4 of those platforms. Big thank you to our mods for helping make the cult run really smoothly. Gat, Syntax Arrow, Kit Carnage.
Someone's got to mix up the Kool-Aid.
They do. And then
Jesus.
Phoenix the Lion picks up all the bodies. Disturbed, Jex, Caboose, and What the Shark. And also a massive thank you to the Back Pocket Top Stitcher patrons. You know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, I'm going to say who you are right now. The first one is the man who is all knees. It's Oranishi. It's Mason. Not Nathan. Don't you fucking forget it, Will. Happy birthday, Slowpunk. Happy it's a great one like always. Happy birthday, Slowpunk. Slow and Steady Punk's the best. It's LokiCat. He knows what he did. When you want to sue the Lord, call Akarash. It's a Vex, Destiny 2 companion app BR. Look out, Narcotech. She's in your blanket right now. No one puts him in the corner. It's Boxy. And then puts that box in the corner. It's Boxy. Boxy. The literal ray of sunshine in all of our lives. The coastal city. MaxJazzGames. Come poopy. Come poopy. Come poopy. Come poopy. Come poopy. Come poopy. The Vagabus isn't just coming, it's here. Hey, Timothy. Hey, it's Timothy. Jepp, it's Jepp thing. Pete, did you hear he bought a Jepp? Evil Spy Boy. We used to be sponsored by Good Spy Boy, but then something happened to him. I wonder who did it. And finally, Frayhem. Fix yourself up, mate. Those hems are fraying. What are you doing? This is a fancy country club. You know what? Get out. Just get the fuck out of here.
Good.
And that's that.
I get
that
country
bit.
club humor.
Sorry. The initial one was I misread their name, and I thought they were Frayham, and I wrote a whole thing about how it was a stitched pig falling apart, and it was really funny. And then I was like, oh, it's Frayhem. Okay, I'm
next week, but now that we know that next week you can do the Stitch Pig bit.
That's good, because
I think we have enough context.
Gross.
Good.
Yeah.
Also, it needs to be really funny. All right. Speaking of really funny and Frayhem is the new sponsor of the post show. So if you are a person eligible for the post show, then head to the Discord right now and go to that link in the post show links channel, because that's where we're headed right now. The post show. Does anyone else have anything to say before we go to the post show?
Post show.
I hope Steph can connect to the post show. Gus, swing us out.
Lightning.
Hey!